Hallelujah. Bata bata zaza blaka. Blaka brengede. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Bata balaka kataza. Gra brengede. I know that Jesus is my Savior. I know that Jesus is my Savior. I know that Jesus is my Savior. I know,
Onyame sayeye. Onyame sanasiye. For you yeah, prepare Munyabotre. Maybe I come here Kumasi FM 104.1 Facebook Live Otwinoko Kamame YouTube Kumasi TV Otwinoko TV TikTok Otwinoko TV number 0249 13064 0249 13064 0249 13064 Kwaku, let's say we are sure say be come on. O microphone Kwaku me bento nka ho. Kwaku, Kwaku every microphone so my yefrim. Kwaku me do nyame. 93 na he so mo Kwaku. Well, o my yefrim. O my Kwaku afrim. Nina. O my yefrim Kwaku na meka chiro. O my Kwaku afrim. O my Kwaku afri line mu. O my Kwaku afrim. Kwaku udam. Kwaku turu no ho. Kwaku ni panyo. O my yefrim. Kwaku. Eh sa. Wow. Abu na no am to say. O nyame adom. And any jaba. Aye. Mani agje papa. Eno na era ho.
Oh, nye easy.
But then nyame adom.
Nyame ase so far. So we dey wa be break am.
Kwaku break him am say bibia e fine.
Enra you come on nyina mo say Ghana player Christian Achu earthquake bi asi e wo Turkey ho ama che say dan na o him no 9th floor na o no ni nyina dwira begu e asase ne so na nti e ba ya ne say o hyase a che say omode excavators ahodo ya so mbetima yi no nyame adom nti e free e Turkey ho ba ne say omatima yi no
bibia e kama
o nkwa si a hospital a mugu so hwe ne say obenya ahode na wasore na afi komo bi o bia
dia wonderful. I just say, Bibia, come away a good news. The Yamias, Bibia, I say, all well ends well, all bad ends bad. Into the Yamias, Ghana for, and Rubia, Subia Bompire, the Yakupaye, Edia Mayen. You say very day, be do Kiadia, Ebeye, welcome hero, Pana, Ebemano, into the Yamias. Na Iguso, Yakaniamabum, Sebi Ebekwa Bridge, Aquaquay interview with so. Okay. E ho ne ade a bibia be kama nti no yeba. Kwaku Kristo modo. Kwaku Kristo modo pa.
Modo mabino.
Se o Kristo yeah, na wunya asore pako ayeka Kristo ho asedi Yesu nkoma kwaku ani baji
emum de
aha na de odu anim no eye da 40 se nem bedi a owre be ho Kristo mo de kwaku Kristo mo de papa Kristo fo me chia mo nyina na ma me na sam no be kan no menim se bia me break na kwaku be break ya arawo ujama me okay mate kwaku
baba ide giso breaki
kwaku
onya kan die nukra waka mo mani age
kwaku me nyankan bobo ni age
you say obo ato atwede
me monto ntwe hwe mo mo Otwinoko ho nto no me makumi but I'm still alive mupo mi sen mu kom no crack kanti ni pampe no kre awiai uma be ba fia sei kwaku mpesa wankasa waka memfa asore ne ntudwa o de ka asemo ka kire won
okay we de ye ma me bi ba ha ne
ni mpa ni fie be sen
me man be 48 years
okay
yes na o chese na okokwan so a o ye na juma kama okwa asore so kama na
aso okwa asore fie sen
20 more than 20 years ni o se ne ba 25 years o won ne ba to asore ni until 25 years amade be ma no na o chese onya accident na amasika o de ye juma nyina o de ahwe no ho ya de amane
ne ho nto no
still ama why am bopa
if you so our team
this year no time na so eson eye November nim
yetu no
yes yetu no I know ara hosem kran say bat house wo fi ho akwa kodware kakra no odru ho if you ran no omatum I guess omo man kwan man nura bat house wo mpo enti no asori okoso da to asori mpanifu ani mu ache say ebisi ne omunye ho hwe last year June and obo mama ne ache say o say no wan wa say asafo no treating it that way
nti wo baba catch na manyede
na ka wadaroma baby odini tibetin ka bitima boa na era ho sa pamra ho
on say me menti asori o ma me nto emfa nto bo maame on asori de nkanya boni o
Mercy FM
but me busa mo amutie me nyina I know say mo amutie mo nyina mo ya Kristofo mo ya gidifo say sofo na sa asem we to na nka hemfa na obegina mo amofra mo say gidifo mo mfo mani emutu ani wuo mu mo sorry na be ka kire say atemuda bunsam gemne heaven o se kan sen e wo ho na nyakopon tina komwam ebebu aten ye kan wa so dem wo ye mfa sorry sika mo wani pa che say me dwinwa aye me nwanwa de na metimi aye wo ha no be free hospital na IVC ni so onyes kantua ne bill o to aduro na IV ni sin so no free hospital no aba radio station ha obaji bibi di akọ
aba
kwaku
ma me fa we so nto so enra we na di o enra so ma me bi ba ha onso che se yade na na cancerous na ontimi kra nja ne nice say
okay
a che se otena se kra atena se ho den ma no ono so ba se nka wada roma boa no ye sure so TCC a
so hono
easy
obi so ɔno so akɔ asɔre saa ne kuna wu na wanya container bi enko peska na akɔ fa nneɛma gum de ahwɛ nkwalaa no ɔde ato asɔre mpanifo nyina anim ne ade bɛpem nnɛ ɔmo ntimi nka ahwɛ nyɛ den ɛnkyerɛ no no kra asɔre ne santimi nso obi aso nti so mi busa mo amutie nyina se ɛkɔ asɔre sɛ yɛ kɔ ɛdeɛn yisika ɔmo gyegye no ɔmo de ɛdeɛn ɛnyɛ we no nyɛ one man churches o asɔre bi mission houses bi asɔre mo mission ya akyɛ sɛ ɔmo do ɔmo ba ya akyɛ bi ebi wɔ hospitals ne ade na hɔ na free nti me deɛ meni asɛm bi a meka de akyerɛ mo kakra bi a metimi ayɛ biara no meni mo bedi nkɔmɔ abaefoɔ se afi ɔmo bɛkɔ conference ɔmo to ɔmo nsa free wiasefoɔ nyinaa nti yɛbɛhwɛ sɛ yɛbɛnya abaefoɔ no bi na yɛne ɔmo adi nkɔmɔ hwan na qualify sɛ ɔkɔ saa meeting ni bi a we no yɛ riches conference ɔmo ɛbɛyɛ wɔ America
Kumasi FM
nti ne ɔmo bedi nkɔmɔ awie yɛhwɛ Ghana ha easy so bit maka so ɛbɛyɛfo ana den ɛna ɛbɛto wɔ yɛhwɛ nsa bɛka wɔn a ne ato aso kwaku
baba odi ka ne gisɛm sɛ wobɛnya akɔ ana
na me mu kɔ amos me kura me na no before Syria ni sɛ duro wɔ ho me menya hwɛ kura mo sɛ ma ɛbɛyɛfo
baba we dey sɛ ɔkɔ sɛ last 2 years and last year na akɔ no
4 years I think 4 years 3 years
okay yeah
because ni me no nyina bi
yes nti no so we so do dia
so
eso okoba
kwaku ade o
aba eso okoba
ade pa
ko tie dia abaifo no ka ne ka bichi ne be ka bichi ne yeso yenhwɛ na last 4 years dey na akoye no o hwɛ experience akonyaye o de wo mo na o de tutu ye abaifo no mo ha ne experience no mo nya papa sakra kakra sense so ye be ne dantemu
kwaku so wo baefoɔ bi wɔ Ghana ha frɛ ne busa sa question wi me ha baefoɔ mi no obi anhia da
ama so Ghana nyina una baefoɔ ha o
ha de ɔmo ha me na ya baefoɔ ha me kwaku nsɛm a yɛ kan a wakɔ disika ma sorry for about 30 years me na abaji me o balance every me o kwaku entra ma me ka sa baefoɔ ha me no nti no ha dwene yi pa nti no I don't know.
But o de me be so ka bi akra che say omo style of abaifo na ti say be yi no mo ye no na ti say
mo be yi no I just said ye nya bi ni ebusa me ba cho wa wo ye baifo e bi ahoma no tum a na wa frɛ na wa ka kwan ofa so a wo ye obayi no ba bi ade obayi nam ne ade na no ye ne wo nya be di enkomo nti ye behwɛ na ye fast da kese ma Roman father aduro Father Martins aduro no ye fast da kese e man Roman father aduro immune system booster no bomodia na ekoko gibi herbal shops pharmacy shops ebi guba bia megaphones so ekrankrofo omoton ko na ko gibi unum bia beboa pa bomodi Roman father adru Father Martins adru number no ye 0244 36 0004 0244 36 0004 Father Martins adru na me de wo call a prostate doctor foundation Kumasi Paparazzi Hotel echi enomo omo ban Presbyterian asori dan no udru hwa bibia ba ye fine Accra so omo was St John's a Ben Vision 1 radio station no but modern nebra o prostate no awanya problem wo ho no ye beboa hepatitis ne nyina but modern nebra liver function test no ye be ne nyina ma LFT bibia ba ye kama Bomodian nebra eye adwuma kopim Saturdays 3 p.m. na yapon Bomodian nebra da bia ye screening we liver no obrebo na ehwo aka no o prostate no ye de ato be mem ye number no phrase si am ye nkomo
0240 775 751 0240 775 751 na ene prostate doctor foundation indi nkomo na ewo macro coil filling station adusa herbal center papa
adusa ose madansie ni adusa adus ose madansie ni adusa herbal ose madansie ni adusa ose madansie ni osisi ya wo ya gibi uti ya wo ya gibi no adusa woni nyina ho aduru koko mankani ye yini nyina afiri ho adusa Goy fuel station eno eho na omo macro mazi eho en omo mo ye adwuma da bia ko na kwaji adusan no ni bi da bia so mo ye screening na wo ho Omo ofidi ahodo bebre ho omo ne hwe nipadua ni mu. This year was screen ye be ba ko na oguso oboboa no edusa duro no bo modern from mema mo ho awu mema mo ho tu kwan oba wontimi wo be ma wontimi ntu kwan wontimi wo edusa number ni
0557 009 824 0557 009 824 back also 0500 110 115 0500 110 115.
Me fa nko ma me ye ni ma ho ko
abusua ko timati mase prophetess ya anima na ya maami honhom how be a dausu bia na spiritual matter bia spiritual problem bia fabra say ya de wadwuma sem wade sem wakontu sem bibi bia ya how ne kodanda e dausu bia no first number way 0243 875 102 0243 875 102 etimati mase na ya maami prophetess ya anima wo
me da se epi na yeguso ye bomo nka ye se ye bekọ America memu ni akohwe se ye benya eye Rev Love ye ne bedi nkomo Christian witches ye ne no mu ebedi nkomo 2023 na chese witches conference na bibekọ so e wa America memu nti ye hwe se ye benya wo mo a na ye ne wo mo ebedi eye enkomo inti baby awo wi no. Do you believe in witches? Do you believe in Christianity? Believe it or not, we're going to talk to one of the witches live on the radio all the way from America. Believe it or not, Christian witches. And it will baffle you to know we have witches in Christianity, not in Islam. So in no time Auntie Love will join us all the way from United States. And she will walk us through the meaning of witches or witchcraft. Hi,
how are you? I'm so happy to be back.
Me too. It's been a long time. What happened?
It's been a very long time. Well, you know, COVID tried to get us, but it...
Anyways, we are still alive. I'm also good here. And how is your group? Told you so. I'm super connected with Nana. Wi-Fi no. I was for Montumbo. Now, we are having challenges with our lines and we're trying to rectify it. So in no time,
Kumasi FM.
Wagu?
Aba, ade my main come man so I have clinic bra. Okay, then you go back.
Hello, my love. Are you here?
Oh, wonderful. Well, I am here and I am ready.
Good. We were having problems with our lines, but now it has been rectified. So how is going?
Oh, it's going very well. So since the last time we spoke, we have had so much growth in Christian witches, many people coming to the Facebook community, many more subscribers on YouTube, many more people who are buying the books. They're buying the books every day about how to be initiated as a Christian witch, how to take the blood oath. We take an oath of blood, and how to live your life as a Christian witch, and it is amazing. And now we're on TikTok too, and now we have thousands of people on TikTok joining us too. It's growing, it's spreading rapidly all over the world, and I'm very thankful.
Wow. So on the scale, rough estimated, how many people do we have? Millions.
Oh, well, I don't know if we have millions yet. I do know that there are over 1 million witches that are in the United States. Some of them are Wiccans. Not all of them are Christian witches. Some of them are Wiccans. Some are solitary practitioners, and some are Christian witches. And I heard you say earlier that there are no witches in Islam. Yet I think there may be, because there are witches everywhere, yet they may be undercover, hiding because the religions do not allow for witchcraft and magic.
Wow. Okay, let's take pick here. Maybe today happens to be somebody's first time listening to you on the radio. Would you mind to, identify yourself a little bit?
Yes. So I am Reverend Valerie
Mercy
Love,
FM.
and I'm also known as Kaisi. And what I teach is helping billions of Christians around the world to release judgment, fear, and ignorance about witchcraft, magic, and the occult, and help them to see the magic that is in the Bible, help them to understand that the first Christians also practiced magic and witchcraft, and that many Christians practice witchcraft to this day, even though they don't know it, with Christmas, with Easter, with birthdays. Many celebrations use witchcraft and they don't know it. So I'm here to help people come out of judgment and fear and ignorance.
Wow. So today you're going to be our teacher. That's good. You know what? It's going to be very interactive today. So I'll pause here and, interpret everything that you said in our local diary so that I'll come back to you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Good.
Wonderful.
Abusuafo, ye ma me before na ye ne no ebo enkomo no we Kristoni osaye before America man mu no wo. Na me kan nyina se wote se oman se a Christofo abefo na ebi ni nkramum. Wo se ebi nyina wo mu no mu nyina undercover. Na me busa ne se bi enani ada obi a wudi kan wo tie yen. Na sen no besia aka ne ho asem kakra. No so. Ne dia ne se o kyerɛkyerɛ titru a Kristofo. Niema e wo Bible mu a dodo na ya bayisem bronya ye di Easter ne niema ekeka ho aye nim ne de nso wo kyerɛkyerɛ na sam ye hu nipa yeye na de a wo ya no nti only wo gitum sɛ wo ye bayfo aha ne yadu afa ni wa join here a obetimi join here Facebook live Kumasi 104.1 FM Otwinoko Kamame YouTube Kumasi TV Otwinoko TV TikTok so Otwinoko TV eho ye ne ye mame love Enna Ekasa. Ma'am, I'm back to you. So, how long have you been as a witch? How long have you been around as a witch?
I was born a witch, and I am born of many other witches. So my mother was a witch, my grandmother was a witch, many witches in my family. And most witches are like this. They have witches in their family, though they may not know it, because the women probably did not say they were witches because maybe they were Christians or maybe they were in the religion. Yet they were doing witchcraft, even though they didn't know it. So, I was born a witch.
Wow. Were you told, or you yourself were able to identify it? How old were you then when you identify yourself as a witch? What happened? Would you mind to share that portion with us?
Yes. When I was very little, 3, 4, I always had these abilities. I could see spirits, talk to spirits. I could know things that were happening. I would stare at people, and my mother's friends used to say, tell her to stop staring at me, because I could see things. Like if I looked at them, I could see things that was going on in their life. Now, I didn't know it was psychic or anything like that because they talk about that in Christianity. That was all off limits. They called all of it the devil and the demons. That's what they called it. So I didn't think anything about witchcraft at all because they didn't expose us to anything like that. Well, when I got older at about 30, I left Christianity because I had a very deep depression and I almost took myself out because I was so in a box and I knew that there was something more. I was looking for something more and I didn't know what I was looking for. I only knew that I was looking for something more. So I began going on my spiritual journey. And when I went on my spiritual journey, I read a lot of books on Buddhism, Hinduism, books on spirituality, metaphysics. When I got to the witchcraft books, I was very afraid. You can imagine. I was terrified because, they tell you in Christianity, you should never touch anything like that. It's the devil. You're going straight to hell. All these things they tell Christians to really keep them in fear. because none of it's true. Because I have many books on witchcraft and many books on magic, and no lightning bolt has come out of heaven yet at all. So when I started reading the books on magic and witchcraft, I realized that the things that my family was doing was witchcraft. Like, for instance, I give you some for instance. That my grandmothers will always heal us with the herbs. So all the herbs that were in the witchcraft books were the same herbs that my grandmothers used for the same things for us. Then they would take the herbs and they would make oils from them, potions, liniments, salves. They would roll it, rub it on you, and then they say some words. It could be a prayer. A prayer is the same thing as a spell. A prayer is the same thing as an incantation, what a witch would say. It's the same thing. It's a spoken word mover of energy. And so I started to see that, and my grandmothers would take their dishwater and throw it in a certain direction. Well, this is what they do in hoodoo and people who are root workers. And so we had all these different customs. And my grandmothers always used to tell me, this is another thing my grandmother always used to say, never let anybody get your hair. And so whenever they brush their hair or comb their hair, they would take the hair out of the comb, out of the brush, flush it down the toilet, because they were not really afraid. They just knew that if somebody got your hair, maybe they were going to work some roots or make some bad conditions, try to attempt to make bad conditions for you, and you just don't want to have that energy at all in your life. So this witchcraft goes very deep in my family, and I think it's everywhere. I think if you look closely, you see witchcraft everywhere. I think everyone, or especially Christians, are definitely practicing witchcraft, because when they created the Christian religion, they blended it with the pagans in Rome, and that's how they made everybody happy in Rome, so people would stop fighting and stop having these rebellions and insurrections against the Roman government. And they put it all together, and they put Christmas at the time of the winter solstice, which is the witches or the pagan celebration of the sun, right? The sun going down. And then they made the Easter, the rising of Jesus, at the time of Astara. Astara, which is Easter. Astara is a goddess of fertility. And she has a totem animal, like a spirit animal. Her spirit animal is the rabbit or the hare. So that's why you see the bunny at Easter. The bunny has nothing to do with Jesus. You see the eggs have nothing to do with Jesus rising from the dead. And all of this came from witches, from the pagans and from the witches, because they blended it all together. And that's how we got Christianity.
Wow. I'll come back to you again. I was young for my men now, or Casana Mimi Busan, so you didn't say, or your bay for say, if you quite brim, who are dear, who Yama who do be bree. Now I do baby crest, Mawon can't moon, yes, then a number of 2 moon national, San moon I then at here. A do baby crana yarn about so more than her buying apps. No more and one, a big crown will shield, will baby shading, a to go. Na de en wanwa wo a kan no wan se so mu nu mu trimu a wo de komb na omo ya inwi na beka afim no mu yi a omo nton fanto fom no mu de ato toilet no ma flash omo ni so be nya wo trimu o betim de den aye bibi o ebro ni o te abro kire wo to se sa ne ma nyina no e kire se hunhum bo wiase ni nyina ya bayini ma na bible mu nsem a yehu easter no ya de nyina ne abosom enema ho do bebre wo roman 4 twitwi ne ma bebre free abosom sumu and on the bedroom and a bay Christo Suma, ye na ye timunu. Safen wa joining ye dear, na sapepe and a wedding, ye kono. Auntie Love, I also have a story to share with you. when I was lad, I used to dream a lot, about mammals and amphibians and all that. When I do talk about it, my dad will say, "Shut up, you are devil." Okay, I was even sent to the hospital. And I was told I was suffering from, illusions and, schizophrenia and all that. So I have to keep mute and all that. Would you classify that dreams of mine as a witchcraft per your experience?
I would say that you are having the same kinds of experiences that witches have
Kumasi
because
FM.
witches and people that have these gifts, these are gifts. Witches and people that have these gifts can see into other dimensions. Now, this is not strange or unscientific to understand other dimensions because quantum physics tells us that there are 11 or 12 dimensions that can be measured by science. So there are other dimensions of consciousness, and we're only at the third dimension. So can you imagine fourth, fifth, and beyond? Right? So you are able to tap into these other dimensions and see spirits, beings, entities that people cannot see that do not have these gifts. And then the people who do not have these gifts, or they're too afraid to use the gifts, they tell you, no, 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 something's wrong with you. Stop it. You're crazy, or, it's the devil, or whatever, because they don't want to even think about the idea that we are surrounded by many spirits all the time.
So in your case, you live in the Western world, I would say developed country, and here in Africa, we are underdeveloped country, okay? Have you ever tried to trace your family tree at your age? Have you tried to trace your family tree?
Yes, and I did find that my family is from Ghana, Benin, Togo, and Nigeria. And also,
you can't be specific.
There more because there are many ancestors. There's many ancestors. So in my ancestry, some ancestors are from Nigeria,
Okay.
some are from Ghana, and some are from Benin and Togo, and some are from Scotland.
Okay.
That could be the colonizers.
Okay. So with your power that you have now is somehow mixed
Kumasi FM.
Scottish and Africa, isn't it?
Yes, because the Scottish witches are very, very, very powerful witches. They tried to kill them. And of course, the African accurate representation of the.
Really?
No, it cannot be.
Not really.
Right.
They,
Right.
they will write what
So
will suit their interest.
Yes. Yes. So when you read the Bible, which I love, I don't stop at the Bible. I also read what is called the Apocrypha, which are the other lost books of the Bible, the secret books of the Bible that no one wants you to know about. And I also read the Gnostic Bible, which is a Bible that has many more books that they don't want you to know about, like the Gospel of Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot wrote a gospel. The infancy gospel of Thomas, which tells you about Jesus when he was a child and how he had his powers when he was a child, and how even his mother Mary used to heal people with his blankets and with his bath water. People wanted his bath water when he was a baby. They also have a gospel of Mary Magdalene, in which Peter was very upset that Mary was so loved by Jesus and he frequently kissed her on the lips. This is all in these Bible books that are not in the 66 canon.
Which of the
Bible.
Marys are you referring to? About the kissing?
You can. This is in the Gnostic Gospels.
I understand, but
You
we
will
have a bunch of Marys in the Bible. Which one are you referring to? The mother of
This
Jesus?
is Mary. No, not the mother of Jesus. We are talking about, you're right. There are many Marys in the Bible because at that time in Galilee and Jerusalem and that whole region, Mary was a very common name, just like it is today. Well, this is Mary, who they call Mary Magdalene or Mary of Magdala. There is some discussion between scholars as to what that word actually means. Does Magdalene mean where she was from, or does Magdalene mean something else? And there was a one verse, or actually there's one reference that says the reason they called her Mary Magdalene is not because of where she was from. It means strong tower, that she had so much faith like a mighty tower. And so Magdala means tower. So there's different renditions on what Mary Magdalene meant. We are talking about Mary Magdalene, who could very well have been the wife of Jesus, or at least it would have been very strange that he would not have been married, right? So it is very likely that he was married. And Mary Magdalene, if you remember, she was the one who was able to dress his body after the crucifixion. Now, he was a rabbi or a teacher, and it would have been against the Jewish law to have a woman that is not either your mother or your sister or your wife to dress your body, your naked body, with the oils and spices that they used for the burial. That she had to have been a very close woman to him, because there is no way that she would have been able to do that. And according to some versions of the Gospels, she was the first one to see him after he raised from the dead, right? He appeared to her first. And so there is a lot about Christ and his actual life and who was close to him that the Christians completely ignore, because they went and they made up their own religion. And that religion was solidified in 325 at the Nicene Council, when after hundreds of years of discussing, well, who is Jesus? Was he divine? Was he not divine? Is it three? Is the Holy Spirit? Is the Trinity? It's hell. It's this, it's that. 325 years into this first common era is when they came up with the Nicene Council and the Nicene Creed. And the Nicene Creed put in writing what Christianity really is about. But remember, what they created and what Jesus actually did are two different things.
Wow. There's one question here I'd love to ask you. You just mentioned about Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. I've read a lot about them. Somewhere 2004, when I was in Hong Kong, I had a book and a video pop up. They were married couples. They had kids, and they once settled in France. Have you come across such, should I call it fiction or non-fiction? Have you come across that tale before? How true is that one?
Yes, I do believe that that has merit. And here's why. When Christ was executed, when he was crucified, everyone scattered, right? And so it is very possible that Mary, his wife, if Mary Magdalene was his wife, we do not have conclusive proof or evidence that it was his wife. It's just very strange that you would have a 30-something-year-old Jewish man with no wife. That would be very bizarre. Very bizarre. And so it was very likely in all the references that they make to Mary Magdalene that this is his wife. And so if this was his wife, then you would be expecting that they would have children. And they say that later on, she bore a daughter, and they were in a boat, and they went over to France. And even in France, they have the actual location where they say she arrived, and they have monuments to Mary and the child. And this is not Mary, the mother of Jesus, because this child is a girl. And this is also something that could be one of the very well-kept secrets of the Vatican. You know, the Catholic Church likes to keep secrets hidden. This could be one of the very well-kept secrets, yet it is in the Gospels that we have at the pseudepigrapha. I'm going to put it in the chat, the website to go to, the link to go to read all of these books for yourself. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I want everyone to read it for themselves and come to their own conclusions. So yes, that is a very good possibility.
So there is a concrete evidence, right?
There is not concrete evidence that he was married, but there is a lot of evidence that she could be his wife. And also in France, there is evidence that she arrived with a child, and this child was a daughter.
If indeed they were having, affair, why are they hiding it from public domain? Why is it so?
Well, because this would upset the whole Christian apple cart. They cannot have any kind of discovery like this, because this would just blow the whole thing wide open. Because remember, he was not supposed to be married. He was not supposed to ever have sex with a woman. He was not supposed to be human. Now, we know he was born of a woman, and in the story it says she was born of a virgin. They added that to the story later, because we do know that, scientifically speaking, a virgin cannot have a child. And even though I am a minister and I'm a reverend, and I know that there are many miracles, and I've seen many miracles, still we know that he must have had some kind of father. Well, the idea that he was God came later. He never said he was God. So if you just take Jesus, what he was saying when he was alive, how he helped people, how he healed people, what he was talking about, if you take just that and then you compare it to the religion that we have today, this is clearly two different things. Yet they say that they are following Jesus. They are not. They are following the bishops and the church fathers and the Catholic Church, and they're following the Roman emperors, and they're following what they were told to follow. Because once they got together at the Council of Nicaea in 325, and they finally said, okay, what do we believe? And they brought all the bishops together, and they wrote it all out. Then they set about burning all the other books and everything that didn't agree with this. So they made up what they wanted the religion to be, and then they killed everyone that didn't get on side with this, and they burned the books and tried to destroy everything else other than this one thing, because Rome just wanted one religion for the whole state. And that's why you still have the Holy Roman Empire to this day. I was just in Rome because I do my research all over the world. I was in Egypt over the summer for about a month. And then I went to Italy, and I was in Rome. And literally, when you are in Rome and you cross over, we know this because I saw many Africans also, and many African brothers and sisters. You know that when you step into St. Peter's Square, you step over an international line because it's a separate country. They have their own country. The whole Holy Roman Empire is still there in the middle of Rome, right in the middle of Italy, and it is its own country with its own police, and you are in a different country. Literally, you cross an international line when you go from Italy, Rome, Italy, to the Vatican.
I'll be with you in no time. Abusuafo enkomo no ayede ye maame ye ndeka se we bevu na ye didi nkomo no na ye o the Bible me busa ne se empempi no odi nkomo a na kofa Bible wasem e di abam no opeso oyiyi mu ni ade no sian Bible no ba bi wo ho a o madada yen e bi kra ni mi se Matthew ma di kan enso kra na e Mark no obusa me se enkomo a me ni di ne nei after 40 years and mfie aduanan so obi tro no de ba se enkomo a me ne Madam Love and Dr. Love D say net ya meji edi na me say da be nyini if so betro de be so den o se sa pepepe na Bible no baby I den akoye mo tru bi na de bi ahyem na ye books ahodo o wa no kan a Christopher mpese o mu ehu nti the books ni na bi I den ahiesie agnostic Bibles na de keka o keka ebi book of Adam, book of Bible of Eve, no book of Enoch, 6 and 7 books of Moses and de keka ho nyina no osi ma yen kan sa amoma no enumu na nema ne nyina den ewo okan abesi se Yesu Kristo pokura no a yedi na chi no na ye wo ye maame bi e friend say Mary Magdalene e ho anu afi Yesu mfra no nti ono asua de akoduru baabi a wo se na lie wo one no kura wo baba na me so me ka se be 20 years ago video bi pia bontin the books bi a chese o mokotena France o se e no kre ukodu France a sa baby maame no kwa ne Yesu baba na ina ne wo na Yesu kura e born asenuam owuye no ono na dware no siesie no ho na ben wanwa so obi ye Jew ni at the age of 30 na onire no ono onyintum na nhwemu bebre e wo na ye gitum se Yesu ye Nyankopon oba so ye Nyankopon se be pia bontin se ono kura wo mpena asa ni wuo beba enti akata sa ne mani na so enti ensem bebre hinta na nse oko Egypt oyehwemu oko Italy oko Rome also ko duru Rome wa Vatican a country within a country a Holy Land ayeko o se nyama bebre Rome afo adane no Bible no kro madane akiri ene yetimo mo de dada yin ta fe no join ye dia na sapepe na enkomo ne den etie. In case you've just joined us, we have an exclusive with Christian Witches President Madam Love all the way from America. All the way from America. So you just sit back, you can send in your comments at the right time, we will read them. Madam, I'm back to you again.
Yes.
Do you believe in voodooism? Voodoo. Because we have branches when you talk about witches. Which one do you condone? Which one do you prescribe to? Or you love all of them?
I do believe in voodoo. Voodoo. There are different ways to say it because there are different sort of flavors of it. Because I go to New Orleans a lot. I will be in New Orleans next week. I will be speaking at an event that is for a retreat for Daughters of the Water, retreat for the Orisha, which is going to be for Yemaya and Oshun.
Wow.
And so I'm going to be there, speaking next week about magic and about how to understand better spirituality and how to practice. So I do not practice Vodun or voodoo. I do know practitioners of voodoo, and I do know that when we go to New Orleans, which we go there very often, there's a very powerful, powerful, powerful spirit of voodoo there. And Marie Laveau, who was the voodoo queen of New Orleans, she used to have the voodoo rituals by the river there, and it was public rituals, and people would come from miles all around to come to her voodoo rituals.
Wow.
Yes, it's real. And even though I don't practice it, yes, it's very real, and it's very, very, very prominent in the United States, especially in New Orleans, and also in Haiti, and also in other Caribbean countries, islands, as the diaspora from Africa came and spread the religions of Africa throughout the Caribbean and into the Americas.
Wow. Voodoo, when I said voodoo, what comes in mind, it was being derived from Benin in Africa here. And I've read a lot about them.
Yes.
I've been there about 20 years ago. When you read their history, they do eat the flesh of human. They drink blood and all that. So what do you know about voodooism where you are in the Eastern world? Do they eat the flesh? Do they drink blood? What do they do?
Well, there are many paths that drink blood. They're not the only ones. So there are different ones that use blood. And let me talk about why we use blood and witches use blood. And we also use blood in our initiations. Even though we do not drink blood, we have a blood oath when you are initiated as a Christian witch. The reason we use blood is because blood is life. And everyone knows blood is life. And in the blood because blood is life, when you are doing magic, you must give something of value for what you're asking for. So if you're asking for, let's say, I know someone who wanted to have children. She could not get pregnant. She couldn't have children no matter what. It was very difficult for her. And so she did rituals to Oshun. And when she goes to Oshun and she did her rituals to Oshun at the river, of course you have to bring offerings. You don't just ask for something free without giving any offerings. So of course she had her offerings of the pumpkins. She had her offerings of devotion and prayers to Oshun. This is energy, right? And so when you are asking for something, you must be willing to give something. Nothing in magic is free. It's just like if you go to the store and buy groceries, you can't load up your cart and go to the front and say, okay, just give this to me for a gift. No. So in magic, what do we give for pay? You don't give money because they can't use money where they are, the spirits that we talk to. Money is for the planet that we are on. It's for the third dimension. So what do they use in the other dimensions? Energy. Blood has energy. You have energy that is water. Water has energy. So the things that people use in voodoo, like let's say blood, water, eggs, all the different offerings, these are energy, and they all represent energy beyond this dimension, beyond the third dimension. And really all of this is very scientific, because if you look at quantum physics with the entanglement theory, it shows you that you can have an effect on something that is far away by affecting one thing in this place, and you can have effect on something else very far away. So this is all very scientific. And blood is actually used in Christianity too, because the whole Christian religion is built on a human sacrifice, a blood sacrifice of a human.
In Christianity?
Yes, Jesus. Isn't the whole religion based on a blood sacrifice of a human sacrifice?
I need clarification here about Jesus Christ and, sacrifice, blood and all that. How is it like?
Yes. So you know how to appease the gods, you know how sometimes I have a home in Mexico, and down in Mexico there is the Maya. And so I study all of these ancient civilizations all over the world. And you will find in some places in Maya, they had human sacrifice. Like they took a like a virgin. That's the favorite person that they would like to
FM.
sacrifice, maybe a virgin. The other person that they like to sacrifice is a great warrior, because they like to give the gods the best, right? And they had a ritual where a warrior would come back from winning from the enemy, and they would lay the warrior down on the altar, and the warrior would say, okay, now I'm going to sacrifice myself to the gods, because you want to give the best to the god, right? And the high priest would actually reach into the chest of the warrior and rip out the heart and hold it up to the heavens, and while the heart was still beating, so that they could sacrifice this human to the gods, and they want to give it the best. Well, what's the difference with Christianity? Christianity says that they needed a human sacrifice, because the story is that Adam became the first sinner. So we need someone to wipe away all our sins. We need a sacrifice to appease God so that we can be back in good standing with God again. So the whole Christian faith is built on a sacrifice of a human being. It's a human sacrifice that required blood.
I get you. With back to the witches, story. I've entangled with so many witches and wizards, and they've been telling me they can fly in the night hours within twinkle of an eye, maybe from Ghana to America. When you fly, I think the flying time is 11 hours, but they can get there within 30 seconds and do whatever they want to do, then come back to Ghana. Some say they sit on the brooms and, fly and all that. In your case, how do you fly? Is it true that you can cross the ocean within twinkle of an eye, do whatever you want to do, then go back to America? Tell me more about yours.
Yes, and you could do it too if you were trained. You know why? Because you're going in another dimension. You're not going through time and space. See, if I have to go through time and space, once again, on the third dimension, if I have to go through time and space, it would take me hours to get there. Or maybe if I'm in a boat, days to get there. If I go into another dimension, if I leave my body, right? Many people do this. You do this every night when you're having your dreams. You leave your body. You lift up out of your body. You can go wherever you want without a slow body slowing you down, and you have to bring your body onto the plane and all this. And so what we learn when we do magic is how to travel through the astral plane, and it is actually another plane of existence, another dimension, and you can be there instantaneously, because in these other dimensions there is no time and space. So really, this is why they call witches hedge riders. A hedge rider is a person that can ride between the worlds. They can be in this world, they can be in another world. So witches have access to all these different worlds. And so we can go from one place to another place. I know witches that fly on brooms, and then I also know witches that can leave where they are. Their body is still there. They can go somewhere else, and they can tell you everything that is happening in that other place, and then they can come back to their body. As a matter of fact, the United States government has people who they call people who can do what is called remote viewing. Look it up. You can read all about all of this that I'm talking about. All of what I'm talking about can be proved with research if you go and look it up, because I have researched all these things myself. If you go to research, the United States government uses psychics. Many of them are witches, and also uses people who can do remote viewing. They can close their eyes and they can go to another country and they can look around the room and see everything that's in the room, and then open their eyes and tell you everything that's in the room. They use them for spies.
Wow. I'll be back with you in no time. I was your foyer, my men, the Gusur in doing Cobona heading. Now, but in a bar, a bay 4 months on your bay 4 near day. Now, make us a bay 4 no be home winning Panama no mojania. Do not see a Christopher Crano, a womb almost so a sumbia Jinamojaso. yɛse Adam ayɛ bɔne Adam asefoɔ nyinaa ayɛ bɔne nti yɛhia wɔ bi yɛde bɛpata ɛyɛ friends Nyankopɔn ɛna Yesu ba yɛbɔ na sɛ nnuam yɛade nyinaa no ebi ano no na tete mmerɛ mu kora no yɛkɔ ako a yɛyi obi ɔyɛ ɔkomfoɔ wobɛhwɛ na bi abɔsonso ne yɛyi nakoma na yɛkankye ne kura nipa no kɔpem sɛ akoma no bɛtɔ ebi ɔbaa na bɛrima wo fa no ho nka bɛrima no ɔbaa ne yɛde na yi musuo ne yɛtumi yɛde ɛkɔ yɛnim nti ade ne deɛ ɛsom ne ade nyinaa no yɛ abɛɛfoɔ nko ɛna meka sɛ ɔmo bɛyie ne ade no wode toto ha deɛ no ho a me ne abɛɛfoɔ bebree nya nhyiamu obi wɔ obɛtumi atu akɔ aburokyire wofiri akɔ aburokyire a dɔnhwere du baako 11 hours na wakɔ ɛnso meet baako na ɔsɛ kwam na nya nwanwa na ɔno kora sɛ ɔtumi kata n'ani a ɔbɔnso no ɔso ɔkɔ na America ban ankasa ɛti kuo bi a abɛɛfoɔ no yɛafa bi a ebi mu yɛ CIA-foɔ ebi mu yɛ spies ɔte America ɔkata n'ani a onim ne ɛkɔ so wɔ ha ɛnora wo sɛ nansa na me ne KOD AD Osama bin Laden no nkɔmɔ kwan mfa so ɔmu kokun no ɛnyɛ easy ɛno na ne maame bɛɛfoɔ no wɔde ne nyinaa no ato hɔ a ɔka saa asɛm no nyinaa no ɛwɔ fidie so kwako comment bebree wɔ anaa okay yɛbɛba so anasɛ okay nti no sɛ wabɛ join yɛde a na yɛne yɛ maame ɛna AD nkɔmɔ we having a very nice conversation with Madam Love Christian Riches president all the way from America. Ma'am, back to you. You've been out for I think a couple of years because of the pandemic. We are now in 2023. What do we have as far as Christian Riches is concerned? Let's hear you. Do you have something good for the world?
Oh, very good for Christian Witches. So coming up in 2023, we have our Christian Witches Convention. Now, we get together every year, but of course, we started in 2019, and you were there. I'm so happy you came as a very honored guest. We're so happy to meet you. And we are now going to, we skipped 2020 and 2021 because of the situation that was going on. And then we started again in 2022. And we had our Christian Witches Convention in New Orleans. Now, when we were in New Orleans, you can see pictures of that if you go to the Christian Witches website and you click on the Christian Witches Convention. You can see all the pictures from the Christian Witches Convention in New Orleans in 2022. Now, in 2023, the Christian Witches Convention is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. And there we're going to have speakers come in. It's going to be bigger than the other ones. And we're going to learn more, help people understand more. We have volunteers. We have people that will be sponsors for the event. We have all of that coming up. It's a beautiful event in Las Vegas, Nevada, coming up in May, Memorial Day weekend of 2023. Now, the very first year that we had the Christian Witches Convention, which was in 2019, we had some protesters, which was very interesting. They came to Salem, Massachusetts, some Christian people who were protesting because they didn't like the Christian witches. But I don't mind, because I think when you have protesters, it just shows you that you're really doing your work. So this year in Vegas, we didn't have any protesters in 2022 because I think the protesters don't really want to come into New Orleans because there's so much magic and voodoo, pardon me, and witchcraft. And also there's a lot of drinking too. Besides all of that, is, you know, it's very wild. It's like party time on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. So we didn't see any protesters at the Christian Witches Convention in 2022. And I don't think we'll see any in 2023. So we have our big event coming up in May.
Wow. Is it free or it's not free? How much is going to cost, a head?
No, it's not free, and we charge for it because we want people to value it, even though it's not very expensive. The tickets only start at $222 for the whole weekend. It is Thursday night we start, and then we have Friday classes all day, Saturday classes all day, and then Sunday morning we have a church service. We have the Christian Witches worship service that is a praise and worship service, and I deliver a word because I am a reverend. So I will be delivering a word for us, inspirational word on Sunday morning. So the tickets start at $222 for the weekend. And if the person pays in Bitcoin, it's even less. It's 111.
What
so
about
it's all on the website.
Okay. 20. How much is it?
It's the tickets start at $222. 222
222. Okay.
Yeah. 222 is a magical number.
Okay.
And then if people pay in Bitcoin, it's 111.
111. Okay. What about hotel reservation? Is it inclusive or only for the tuition?
So the place where we're having it at, they have a special room reservation rate for the rooms. So the 222 is only for the convention, all the classes and the workshops and the events that we do at the convention. And then we have a special room price for the ones who are coming to the convention to Las Vegas.
Okay. Retrospective to the protest at Boston, Massachusetts, when I came in 2019, I think the place was close to the Pentecostal church. That could be the reason. So I know this time around it's not close to any church. Am I right?
Yes. And we had just a couple of protesters. It wasn't very many, but we did have some people that came to Salem. Now, I don't know why the Christians would come to Salem and protest, because Salem is a witches' town. It's full of witches, and everything in Salem really is about witches and witchcraft. But they do have a church there. They do have a couple of churches there. And so they were protesting. But, in America, people have the right to protest. So it's okay. We still did what we did, and it was not a problem at all.
Okay, I could see a bunch of, messages coming in. People are having, enthusiastic in the conversation, and they want to take part. And who qualifies to be, participants? Who qualifies?
Oh, anyone can come to the convention. This is why we have it each year. It's open to anyone who wants to learn. It's not only for Christian witches. See, because there are some people who are Christians and they just are curious maybe about crystals, or maybe they're curious about how to be initiated, or maybe they're curious about herbs and things like that. And so it's not only for Christian witches. It's for anyone who wants to learn more about magic, the occult, witchcraft, and understand it. Because people just don't understand it. They're confused. So that way, they start to understand that the devil was also a made-up character by the puppeteers of society who want to control people. They made up the devil. The devil is not anywhere in the Hebrew Bible. There is no such thing as a devil. What we have is, the adversary, and we know him as Satan. The Jewish people, the Hebrew people call him Satan. We know him as Satan the devil. Well, Satan works for God. He is the adversary, the opponent. It even says it in the Bible that he's the adversary. So what he does is he gives you sort of like weight training. He's sort of like goes against you to give you like he's like a weight trainer in the gym kind of thing. He's not this evil entity. This is Satan. He's a mighty angel in heaven. He works for God. Yet somehow the people who are, creating Christianity and these false beliefs, they came up with the idea of a devil. He's red with the pitchfork and the long red tail and the horns, and he's evil. And that was made up many years after the Hebrew Bible was written. It's nowhere in the Hebrew Bible. You don't see that anywhere in the Bible. So they made it up, and then later they said that the serpent in the Garden of Eden was the devil, and that's not true either. So these are things that people can easily research and find the truth for themselves, and that's what I would urge everyone to do.
Wow. I'll be with you in a second. I was now for in common na yedi na mebusa me maame no. Say abefo no muta ahia mu emfie ba mi ense ne omuhia mu ko bi. na baby akọ enam se Pentecost for so ye nhyiemu wo ya so ye hye pa ma che se omo twi mumume ni ade so omo mpere ni ade na no kasa America do obi atimi atwi mumume na se this year de ye kọ Vegas ho na ye kọ May ho ne be kọ o se ho de o ha obi ani ho mbete na me busan se hwan na betimi ababi o so obi abetimi ababi obi a pese wo ye magic obi a pese wo sua bibi wo sunsum bia no otimi ba oba betua $222 and now betua hotel or how betua ka na wabesua de 1 week program na bibia e kama na ose bonsam bia ni ba bia atwo ne bible mu bonsam oye adwuma manyankopon oye bofo a woye na Roman for no betro bible ni aye bonsam ni podua ne se kokko na nim kokko bonsam bia ni hu bonsam no ane wa de obaye wo ho ane se wusi wo no nti wiase de ene waka ni nyina de akere oni papa nti wabe join ye dia ye ma me bayfo no na ye gusu a yesua no. There's one question here I really love to ask you. Since you've been a witch, can you share some benefits that you are enjoying or that you've enjoyed in all your life as a witch, so that it will entice other people who wish to join, your party?
Yes. I believe that people work very hard, and they work too hard. And we know many people who work very, very hard and they still don't have the life of their dreams. I get to live a very blessed life. And the reason I get to live a very blessed life is because I understand energy and I understand who I am and I understand God as me, and that God is not way up in the sky telling people what to do. God is you, God is me, God is everywhere. God is right here, right now. And so because I understand these things, my life has changed dramatically. I used to be married to, someone that I didn't really want to be with. And now I have a very happy, happy, happy life, a very happy relationship with my children. I'm very prosperous. I'm very thankful. I do what I love every day. I have a home in Mexico that is a very beautiful home. So you could say that I really live a dream life. I get to travel all over the globe. I was just in Egypt over the summer. I spent a month in Egypt, and then I went to Greece from Egypt, where I went to study the ancient ruins there, the Temple of Dionysus, the Temple of Athena. And then I went to the Greek islands. And then I went to Italy, and I was in Italy for a while. And then I was able to go to the Vatican. And then from Italy, I went to Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal. And so I get to go all over the world. I've been to India, China, Hong Kong, throughout the Caribbean, Peru. We do sacred plant medicine in Peru. And I've been out throughout the United States. We were just in Sedona. And I have several companies. I have a corporation. And it is a very successful way of living. And I would say that most successful people are using magic and the occult, but you just don't know it.
Wow. Abusafo eno ka no bibusa nse onya no yie waye bayi ya chemfa so be no anya no oburugu won wose se wiase kro nyina ya hanu a wakombe oha ne akiri niamma bebre koso na brabo mu nyina no won de wadi yie won se bayi aboa no wose ye ni nipa pi na nam a omo wo secret societies ahodo ma ye nim a omo ye successful in life but who nim intisanity on de aboa ne papa bayi ne de on the aboa pa nti so so no we are by fool so person e dey wan kasa e hihye oniema eyi but asipi. Okay, ma'am, are you here?
Yes.
Well, there's another question here for you. I think that would be my last question. Someone, elsewhere doing the lesson or watching, and maybe he or she wants to be part of the group. How could it be? Talking about initiation. You are in America, the person is here in Ghana, Nigeria. How could it be? Talking about initiation.
Oh, that's a very good question. Right now, the initiation is closed for the year. It just closed. We have initiation every year. It is for 1 full year, just like if you were going to be initiated into, let's say, Yoruba, or if you were going to be initiated into Vodun, or Santeria. It's 1 year initiation. You can do it from anywhere in the world, and that information is at our website at christianwitches.com, and you click on initiation. Now, because the initiation program just closed, because it opens only once a year. We only accept people once a year, and we start in January, and then the initiation happens in December on the winter solstice. We do it on a very special day because this day is a sacred day. The Christians know it as Christmas. They also know, the witches call it Yule, Y-U-L-E. It's the same thing. This is the time that we have the initiation. It is a very sacred time of the year. And we take the witches into nature, into the woods. We go out into nature, and we have a blood oath. They actually have to draw blood, and they do a blood oath. And we do other things in initiation that we cannot talk about publicly, that you only know if you become an initiate, just like all of the mystery schools. And we also have a circle, which is open to everyone. So if you can't join initiation yet, you can come into the circle, and I'll put a link in the chat here, and I'll send it to you also, so that you can give it to people. It's free, it's open to everyone, and this is where we have our discussion, so that later on, if you do decide that you want to become initiated, you can do so. I'm going to put the link to it in the chat. How about that? It's open to everyone, and in there we have readings for the full moon. We do videos. We do a lot of training in there, so anyone can join it. And I'm going to put the link in the chat here in the YouTube chat. Anyone can use that link and join it. It's open, it's free, and you can be in there in this circle with us. It's our online home and community where we have our discussion, and then when the initiation program opens again, if they desire to join, they can join then.
Great, Rev. It's been an awesome conversation. So just stay here quietly and listen to some of the comments coming. Kwaku, read some of the comments too.
Yeah, hello, Reverend. Some of our viewers have questions for you, and this one is asking that do you see yourself spiritually more inclined than most of these Christian pastors that you see on TV, or you know?
Did you hear him?
Yes, okay. That is an excellent question. Yes. Well, I would not compare myself to anyone, and I don't know anyone else's spiritual path. I only know my walk with God, and I know that my walk with God is very personal and very powerful. Good. And I know that I am here doing what God told me to do, and that is to help billions of Christians stop being afraid to come out of ignorance and judgment.
Good.
Okay.
And so that's what I do. So I can't really speak to anyone else, but I will say that I know that I am on my mission from God.
Okay. Now, Barbara also is asking that you said you perform blood sacrifices. So she wants to find out if you use human blood or animal blood.
We only use our own blood. So when we have our rituals, and I wrote about this also in my book, How to Be a Christian Witch. So if anyone wants to get the book, it's on Amazon, and you can read in there the entire initiation. And there are two ways that you can get the blood. Either you can cut your hand. That's what a lot of witches do. That's why most witches have a knife, or we also call it an athame, or maybe a sword. And you just cut your own hand, and you can draw blood that way. And you can use your blood for many things. You can use your blood for spells. You can also use your blood for ink to write out a spell.
Okay.
And you can even save it if you put it in a tube and you put it in your refrigerator. And even though it will dry, you can still add a tiny bit of either alcohol or water to it later, and you can get it to be liquid again. That's one way to get the blood, is with a cut. The other way to get the blood, which a lot of us use also, if women still have their menses, you can use menstrual blood because menstrual blood is very, very powerful for magic. And so a lot of women will collect their own menstrual blood and use that also in their initiation.
Wow. All right. So Francis also has this question for you. He's asking that, have you ever been contacted by any of these politicians in America to help them win their political
maybe
campaign
ambitions
or whatever?
Contacted by who? In
politicians said, have you been contacted by some of the politicians in America to help them maybe win
their political campaign?
Well, I have a lot of clients, but it's confidential, so I can't really tell you the people that I work with. I can tell you that almost all successful people, powerful people, people who are doing very big things in the world, I can tell you almost all of them use magic.
He's asking, he was being specific. He said politicians. He's not looking for names. Do you have some politicians as your client? Maybe they'll call on you to help them win maybe their seats as maybe senator or governor.
No, I don't work with politicians myself because I don't like the political system in America.
Okay.
So I do not give my energy to that. Yet I do know that they use astrologers and witches and tarot readers.
That's a good answer.
Okay, so this is going to be our last question from Daniel. He's also asking that, have you ever been invited to any church for some spiritual teachings?
Oh, yes. You would be surprised. There are many churches that are open to me speaking at them. I have spoken at many churches because people are starting to wake up and they're starting to understand that they were told a story that may not be true. And when they do their research, which everyone can do now because you have the internet, when they do their research, they start to see that something about the Christian story as they were told is not fitting together. It's not adding up. And when you start to ask question after question and you go beyond what you have been taught, which is what I really encourage people to do, you will start to find that what you believed is not so. And when people start waking up from Christianity, they call it deconverting or deconstructing. And now you see all of these people on YouTube, they're having these videos where they're talking about deconverting from Christianity. I deconstructed from Christianity because people are waking up. There is a great global awakening happening, and there are many higher order beings and spirits that are helping humanity wake up out of being in fear and out of being in religion, and to help them return to their spiritual roots. Yes, people do want to do that.
Good. We have a bunch of denominations in the world. So why choosing Christian witches? That's another question.
Oh, that's an excellent question. It's because when I grew up as a Christian from 3 or 4 to about 30, it spoke to me. Christ spoke to me, not the religion. Christ himself. So I have conversation with Christ all the time. Christ speaks to everyone if you want to, right? And so I always had a close relationship with Christ, regardless, irrespective of the religion. And so if you look at my YouTube channel, I have 2 YouTube channels. One is Valerie Love, Kaisi, where I teach about magic, and one is Christian Witches, where we teach specifically about Christian witches. On my Valerie Love YouTube channel, on October 22nd of 2011, is when I came out of what they call it the broom closet and told everyone online, now people in my life already knew, online, that I am a Christian witch. And when I said that, of course, the Christians got very upset, which, you know, you could expect because people are having their ideas challenged, right? Their beliefs are being challenged. Well, there were many people who said, oh my goodness, I felt the same way. I want that. I don't want to leave my Catholic church and I still want to do magic. I like my Bible and I still want to learn how to do magic from the Psalms, which is what we teach also. We teach you how to do magic from the Psalms, just like the hoodoo practitioners do. I want to learn how to have Christ and my magic. And that's what we teach. So you'd be amazed at how many people are flocking to learn this. And some people just Google it and they find it and then they join us in the mystery school to be initiates.
Wow. So how do you comprehend backlashes from, other men of God?
Because they don't understand. And I will tell you something. Many of the pastors that have been to seminary, they know that the Bible is not the inerrant word of God. They know this. They learned the history of the Bible. They learned when it was put together, who wrote it, where they were. They know about the contradictions. They know about the church fathers creating Christianity over many hundreds of years. They know about the burning of books and the destruction of anything else that anyone else had to say other than what the Roman experience wanted, right? They know about all this. Many of the pastors will not tell their people because they're afraid of what the people will say. Yet the very courageous pastors will tell their people the truth, as I do, and will help them understand the truth about their own religion. And it does not mean that they will throw out Christianity. It means that now they'll understand it differently, and then maybe they will have a true spiritual path, not a religious path.
Wow. Interesting. Our time is almost up, and we're waiting for our take-home message.
Well, here is the message that I would offer everyone. 1, be willing to let go of what you have been taught when the proof and the evidence comes in front of you that what you have been taught and what you have believed maybe for your entire life is not so. That's number 1, because we have a hard time with that. When, the more I discover that the things that I believed are just not so, they were created by humans, made up by humans. It was a very hard pill to swallow. It's very difficult. A lot of people have a very difficult time when they find out that these things were made up and hell was invented by humans. They have a very hard time with that. And I have a simple proof for you if you think about hell, because I did a whole series on hell on TikTok, and you would think that people would be happy to find out that there's no such thing as hell, that it was completely made up. But if you go to one simple example, you notice that if you read Genesis chapter 1 and 2, when God created Adam and Eve, he didn't say that if you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that you will die and you will go to hell and you will burn forever. Why not? If hell is the ultimate retribution, why is it nowhere in the first half of the Bible at all? It doesn't exist. It was made up by people. Now, people will try to fight that. They can fight all they like. You can't fight the truth. All you get to do is go do the research and decide if you want to believe it or not. But either way, if you believe something that's not so, you're still fooled. There's 2 ways to be a fool. One is to believe something that is not true. And the second is to not accept what is true.
Wow. It's been great, availing yourself to this program. And we're going to start it some other time from where we're ending it today.
Oh, I thank you so much for the invitation to come. I thank you for over the years that we've been having these very good discussions. I'm so thankful that you show this to your people and that you put the truth out there and you have all these amazing discussions with people. So thank you for your work and thank you for the invitation. And many blessings to you.
Thank you. It is my pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kwaku.
Oba.
Dia kofa ba no no. Awusuafo, maame na wie. Wa wie bibia. O se dia wugidie no. E ya ne nye sanity. Na dia wunyini no, ebi eno na eden, e no kore. Na ade odi gya ekwan ane bunzam gyem. say no krese bonsam gem wo ho ay Nyankopon de be hye Adam oni Eve ne di kan ye bone so mu kodi aduaba no anka so do betu gya entwa do on be hye saa wanka saa asem en di bonsam gem Nyankopon na ko fa de be hye ho nti ubi bia wo ye mo adwene mu na ho eni edi abayefo nkomo se ma adwuma ni so kwaku ebi wo ba kenkan se bia man se ni
Dr. Aba etika Dr. Inka
ofin
oti
I so so abayefo waba
obani
sa abayefo Ghana ha abusia for sa be de Dr. Ba ko so be kasa eni obi obadwuma dia bia so abayefo Dr. Inka nwa kwa abayefo be bonsam
ya menu ya me ne utu
kokumi obia I was afraid that my sister Inka Edru has said the Dinka Kayano. Yane Abayfo said you didn't come up my church the Pimu at the Achiremo. Anna Kukra, Obiso the bias on the politicians here, Juma. Also on pep politics into the politicians in the day. And yeah, Juma. Nami Busan sa so for the bitatano. Or see a so for no customness, I hold one year dinner of Regimu. O Munyan Missa Bible, no Caribbean nim. No crane woman Timinka, any woo. Na Upemuka, who. In some of the mamma can be papa. Was here enro and habai wahai enuaba was in na yenro by 4 using na in Toma Tita Hama then Anna. So what's ya Ujarubi no 2 so go benkuma na nifa. Nina what the chere was it trini unumu afin nana yi no the good toilet no flash. Ghana haebi obi ko initi anu asesa na de no de ko. Was it nipa bebra ye say tam. Omo dia sori na akata omani omo boa se sa ne ma we nyina enti obi tete haba tete nubna menye wadwen se kwa ye bondin se doctor ma me naka ya ne yinka bedi nkomo wo ye oba untimi nwo be ma untimi nwo be ma asipo je se kokko mankani tuatu awoto yare wanusu ye wisi oba cancer na hawo ne nyina no yinka betimi abo kuma se de chem so Obey Assemblies of God Church in Ope. Yinka wa say, Kwaku, Yinka number no fire number na Samiako. Kwaku
number no ni.
Kwaku by 4 fire wenko.
0547 305 886 0547 305 886.
Me da say, Yinka bowra mu fa hoden mu oden abefo di tu bowra mi anko ho
hoden na ya di tu no na me de bo awura mu sisiye no abusuafo mo amutie mi sabre no kwasem ne se eba Yinka Herbal and Spiritual Center for a said ye munim na dada no ano said ye munim na dada no atie ba bia ya so ye no wo no ye signboard no na si Assemblies of God asondan na enchen nemom asoye ne de ni kwan ne ho it is a wo ba so ye honoma ye signboard no de cham so asore nkwanta ho no ye signboard no enesi ho entity udu signboard no ho a gina ho frɛ yen na ye mefa nkwa adwum ebia na ye nufo nkwakram yade otwi mi ni otwi no ko ye adwuma o take FM Force FM Inshira FM besi ne aminu mienu ye kasa yi ye guso ye adwuma enti woni medada enye ne enti se wo tie mi na yare bi na da wo so yare bi na etete wo wonofo no na ahono wonofo no ahona pai aye kuro tutumika ne fo woni kire maso ye o kire no pa by 7:30 na matasa me ye adwuma papa mame me ba me wo fase me nana esewani na nsa o ka kire de adwuma bi na da no fo no mu de no fo no mu na ye wo yakeke de mu ne tutuo de so called nepo aye no fo na no ba na eka wuram ni nyina ye adwuma di ya de bepiem e wo Yinka Herbal and Spiritual Center for ya so ye behwe ne ya boawo amwa de wo ho yare biara eba wo bi ni peduam e wo honam famu no wo sunsum famu no obi betimi ato yare ne de amawa ma na yiye eno nti na ye say ye deal with both physical and spiritual problem. If you say ebia na wo yare na wo de ba no wo de kire na ntia bre enti ya na wadwen ye say etrente na so be hye kotodwe che e ba ne sa enye yiye eno nti bra me nchen na ye mpa wo ha wo no poma sebra ma wo de stroke a che no no wada dem wontumi nkontumi ba de ne de ye prostate enlargement de ne de ye prostate cancer de ne de ye cervical cancer munyina mututumi kanfo mani nkyira so ye bema wa ye mre wo mpam na wontumi mu adwuma bema wo bema ni sa Debi ya wotweka wase bema wo join breko fan club no. Ya gunu nyina.
Echiwa.
Asam kese na beto.
No.
Abra yinka heba in spiritual center for your ho. Say ye bema unupa, ye be ye unupa. Amana for wuntin na ye ntine no adwuma. Wo huru ntine na to ntine no, entina ye mere nyina be so regya na so na ate ho. Ehwa ma sabi oba gu kwasia. Ya gunu wo bagi ba bi abegira. Eti sa wo pa wo yare no poma sebra pa ade a. Eye yinka herbal and spiritual center for your say. Wo de ye moja broso. Wo de ye sikire yade. Wo de ye glaucoma. Wo de ye toma anasa abo. Obroni frɛ ne fistula. Wo de ye koko ene tua woto. Setie ni tutumikare fo ani kira so ye ho. Awo na wo pɛ. Be ma wo hunsuo na agene. Oba wo ne be ma hia ne nsuo na asan ba abonten. Oba wo nyinsan na asan ne moje tu. Kai nation of say me number me di ye adwuma eye ba ko pɛ. Me number a me di ye adwuma ye ba ko pɛ me di tudwa ma wo. Tie ni ye. Me personal contact no eye 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 886 Mrs. Subio 05 47 305 886 Wa wanya gonorrhea anababaso na treni pedue mu wache na ma obema mu pienso ama obema mu kikawo ama obema na efon etimi mansansa bi na begugu bema no emu ana papai na ekọ emu abonsa na ma obema na esa de esinke no obema no so tia na eti utumi dwene ho awonte ase eno ne ye ka kire se ni nyina no fa bra bedan yen wo ye oba wo se nsuo bi gu ya yawo sebi etoda na nsan bi kura na begugu oba no wase etoda wo be yi wa mo ase e me kire ye opante no sebi impress ka fa che sebi ye nyado obon se nsuo bi begugu mtroka yenyenyan basa wenu mu nyina ye sexual transmitted disease aye nam nsayade ahodo a wo tena se wo kina bi enam so betimi ama empo wo chima besesa eti oba kane no otumi ya bra bosom sorry nenson nensia eneso ati abananu nansa na atwa nanu nansa na atwa obi kura ho betimi edi be 3 months no onye brada ono wanyem enye hwe tutumrika na bra ye nche ne wontena se se yare egonoru na baba so no betena wo so a na tena wo so chepa wonyinsi betimi afam eti senka bosom be so na oba wusi na wateki no moja na be nane na attending into different process no dabi eti basa na tare de tare afuru na no enkosoro ade che na wo mo se wonyem ade chechera wo mo se enye ba eno na meka che sabra na enye waduro ma enwan tom na wo afuru ni ntimi mra soro na wonyinsa abosom enkono enwa abofra no
me da ase abusuafo yinka Dr. JB ena ye ne bo enkomo ewo Kumasi BBC Atenga Junction wotenenka Facebook live Kumasi 104.1 FM Otwinoko kamame YouTube so owo Kumasi TV anaso Otwinoko TV TikTok so eyo Otwinoko TV eno da so fefefe no open akira kwan a wo Kumasi de chem so oben Assemblies of God Church ho oye adwuma da bia signpost le sisi wo no oba na no fo eye ne ya no fo ba kwa ho sen ba ko no de akire kwan nyina eno kire se no fo nko anwa adwuma no oye eno kire se no fo no pe oboa oso ohu oba ya twa no fo na ano bo modern na bra mema na maye mre no koko puma woto ohunam wani ohunam taayo wo hene obi awayi uti bibia be fuo watiko bibia funo afuno ho ehwa na pai na moja aba ehwa asewu ni nyina wo ba obetimi aboa ama bibia so atimi aden kama ne number no som naje number no hia ebi ana atika mu ebi kura akọ wompra bi ho na upie ena eme ya no wompra akọ ebrego fan club ya gunu koko fan club enu so ya gunu
sanete
ya chiwo so ma sa akọ form fan club bi a obedam na me ka kire wo je number no
ye 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 8886 opuso homa we ebra masori a won sabe kame enkomo bia wo bia ya na obetwetwa fa so problem awo no ho
abusuafo na yeguso ye ne yinka doctor ene ebo nkomo no da bia wo ka ose yare no de edin no wo de mo fanto ma no de emre no munyini nyina na de edin na obi akon wa wontimi wakon abre no
na mo de no abre me
ene na fe ne yinka ene ne din ase no munyi de be ka no mo famre no no doctor ni nuamo omo ye nan oka ho num me no mu nyina na ya adwuma no mu nyina hira se tumi no ama Dr. JB asese ekura na ode adwuma enye sekan enye blade enye panie enhaban enubuna enunsini na ye adwuma echen konya me se me kanfo wode ma mo amu free sunwane eba wo de wo ba na bedu so folon ya o so peka ekode chem so udu plaza busa obi ase ope Assemblies of God Church ho ope Dr. JB Yinka obi anim no se ofa hen bobo ano na beba wan fa krofro mu a oba odi oba immigration ho a odi busa akwara akwara be den ebe chiro se ufri buo krom na eba otra airport runabout na ado ani a kire krofro mu ana ado ani a kire hen bobo ano ufri aboabo anraga enkran ba bia na ba for ani kire ho airport runabout wo se okọ Assemblies of God nchen ho ho na Dr. Yinka sign post ni si ho me se Yinka wo de sign post no kra da ifri wadwum yesi number na je me mpese me pon wa free ha na be femodi me ba che na metimam na me fere me be ma say sia no me didi watem na me ka kire wo yi oba ba bia wo te ne number no edan wo kra pebidie na tworo infuturo mu kra tworo ho na pepen na tworo me don wonti na me de number no yeden ma wo no doc number no
is 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 886 opusu homa we bra masori a on sabe kame otwi kina no pa by 7:30 no matter sami ya twuma di ofri chichiri ba bia no on kan ho oba ne line wa di so because me ana metena sena me ya twuma ficha no pa ko si bra me sorry emfa ho ne sade wo hawo ne tie bi otwi se stroke na kan nipa na to fom wo bi won teme nyonso mu kwahya no roba otwi eye 30 minutes na ye na do amana dwonso e wa so ye ho wo bi ye fo ne ye ne ya obonyam obufa so otwi eye 15 minutes ye fo ya de ni nyina beko
and your contemporary case
sanity eno na me kan kire obi bia wo tiem sabre de ne ye twere ya de otwi eye under 1 minute
mo
e twere o obefi no manwansia ma bia fa ne hwenum ne nanum nyina pie agu fom a enya asam ketwa otwi de tesi na ninu so no eye 24 hours etana ne matu e de ama no enti obi bia wo problem wo twi ntutum dika no famra
me da se doc my number no ko de twa to bra ye ja wo kwan na wa de nya me
me number ni ye eye 05 47 305 886 05 47 305 886 ochi yare biare ha wobi say yesunsum fam say ye honam fam otutum dika no fa bra bedan oba se de tebia ye be pene puma sebrama no
midase abusuafo Dr. JB ena otin kan Yinka Kumase de chem so obenya Assemblies of God Church ho signpost is so ba no for ahono yare bia ha obi na ochina wotena situmrika ne ko abusuafo amoye mako edu abusuafo ambo mu nipa 10 ambeko no ohwe mu free ni nyina meka mu ya abusuafo mu bom edu na mo ba ohwe mu free mu ya nipa thousands na bom kwa free mu ya nipa 2000 na bom kwa free kwa ku by for and then kwa ku bonza so bia yusu say din kwa ku ya so ba ken kan say so dey na ya guess not transit ya guess into aso kakra Pastor Mike kwaku min sa sam baba prince apie asamba ba
ɛna ma ho pastor Mike
yo media
ɛna so mi hu no ba
media
hwɛ mu yɛ n'agya
senka me ne wanka ma chia no simple na esi so
pastor Mike wadaro ma we dey chia from Kumasi to America
said ya wosi aba no yakopon na bo asem nko
Kwame Anel Kasema Poma good evening
me gene so anaka wen
hail from Dubai
anaka me dase
and Regina Buachi Yadom
also
they love emoji and about for dodo
miss me don 9
milli
hey my wife wow
the best ɔse nkɔmmɔ na ɛkɔɔ so no atram no
wow
afei Kinsilo Poku si bɛyie mu Pro Max
Kinsilo pampa so New York wate mechiwa
so da ɔchiao
megine so Kinsilo
amankona ɔse wonderful day Otwinoko masua deɛ pa
wow
ɛna Nuruddin enso so
me boss ɔkɔresa o
mampɔn badu ɔse hey father abaifo pa nsɛm owiase afei so okay designer titles
okay
ɔse papa no ɔse me voice no from yɛ hyase no and he said ɔte ne kama yɛbɛtumi atoa so
me da se awusuafo no kwakwa kenkan no kwakwa time ne yɛsɛn
5 o'clock
oh wow 5 na ya commercial so yɛnkɔ akra wo yɛbɛyɛ okay ɛna me ne me guest no ne nkɔmɔ ɔhene me mo akwa ba
ya onya
let's say
everybody na do na wo so
bibi abɔkɔ ehyi akyɛ
papa
mpom
yɛ na wo so
bibi abɔkɔ wagoma ne nso ma me sɛ kasa na wɔ fam mo ma ne nso ma ne minimum fɔ na me mposa no abusuafo me ne me nua pani bi so ɛbɛbɔ nkɔmɔ baabi a wo bia no yɛyɛ bibifo sunsum wo po mpo ɛno a ɔno bibini broni ɔte abrochia ne di nkɔmɔ motie ba yisɛm a wɔka bo nse na akɔtena salon no anu utrim kwankyɛ baabi a na wo bɔ uti be nneɛma basa je broni o ɔka no no utrim a na nanaje no de ato ade no a flash ne kɔ obi anye den ɛmfa ne nsanka ade ne ehunu obɛkɔ no ɔsane ne ti ofie yam ade bɛkyena ne ti nwi na gu hɔ ensɛm sɛ basa da bia mu nsɛm bebrebe asɔfo so nim tricks ni na ɔmo nka na ɔmo de sie akra me mo akwa ba
ya
yo wada roma wudi no
ye frame brofo mu say nguma so frame Francis Osu ko Facebook a me wo papa
yo Francis
ni baby ala wo net ni so
yo odio mi na pa so
na fie so ye frame kwakusu e di na pesa frame bafo na me anam tia no asare bafo me no wada roma umfie no kwani mbesen ni mfie ye mfinsia adusia mensa
63 akwa sori mfie sen
asori de meka se fimi nkola brimu na ma me de ye kwa asori na me nyini ye no me ma se da nkwa asori but me kotena nkan no na me ko asori pa ma se ya me chase o Grace Baptist
okay
anche kra na me ko nkran so me to aso St John's Baptist
okay
actually na me call friends but I'm on so friends living bread Kutubabi police station
okay
if you on na asembisi ntie mame na pese me hu ensem wo hu fa me ma ho ntie me call opanyi bi ho ne fe no kwasiansa se wonte ase
on cry bro no
police station on boy say Kutubabi
Kutubabi Kutubabi wa
asori no wo Abuso kan double diamond building
okay
e fed kwasiansa se de wonte ase
nti ho na ahya se ohwe sunsu
ho na me ko ya me hu mu ade pa
good te say in fear say asem na wo kan
start be 2000 the year 2000
emu
and I'm shas
nti fa say in fear aduanum yensa
exactly
emuni
eni
that's
oya de pa
in fear aduanum yensa a wo kwa asori na sabe no mfi aduanan 40 years
exactly
na sisia no so no hya se wo behwehwe honhum ni ade ne mfi aduanum yensa e ka ho a 63 years se aka mfi enson na mfi anyakopon de ma nipa no waduru ti se de beka se o ye national service akohia wo bofo mfi aduanum yensa wo de yesunsum hwehwemu no na hyase na tesen mfimfin tesen na ne nyinaa mu mfi aduanum yensa die na wahu no na hen na wugina sesei twa ho mfoni kire me dase
opa yimi dase pa de o mina ne se fimi nkoda brem po mfinsi aduanan no ma hu bibia ma anti bibia fa me ho na me hyase wo Jesus connection me bɔ mpa yɛ akɔduru bɛɛ sɛ fa sɛ afe baako pɛ no ɛna mehu wɔ fresh sɛ kristo yesu ne onyankopɔn atwa m'ani sɛm sɛ ɛde bɛni awɔ ayɛ sɛ ɛwɔ sum na meteɛ nne bi sɛ deɛ wotwaa mu no wonim no na mesi daabi na wo sɛ yɛ awurade nti ɛfiri hɔ no ɛna m'ani hyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɛbue nti jesus connection hɔ no obiaa ɔtie me sɛsiɛ a wɔnim me no da biaa yɛbɛkɔ asɔre no mebɛyi yikyerɛ a ɛɛde ne paa wɔ asɔre dɛ mu yikyerɛ akɛseɛ yɛfa ghana man ne miame ho ne wiase ho akɔpem sɛ mefiri jesus connection amankɔ hɔ bi na meba Kumase a meba Kumase a so 13 years now
to ba Kumase sɛ wonkɔ asɔre bia
ti sɛ deɛ menkɔ asɔre
okay ɛsɛ no sɛdeɛ wosi kyerɛ no mfeɛ aduonu mmiɛnsa mu nie na woyɛ nhwehwɛmu no ara no woyɛ nhwehwɛmu no mfeɛ 10 wɔ nkran ɛna aba Kumase so mfeɛ 12 mu nie yɛka saa ɛna nyinaa bɔ mu a sɛn na wosi ho wiase ɛmisa na wote abɔnten na me ma me bɛyɛfo ne di nkɔmɔ mo nso no ani agye wodo na abɔ fom sɛ yɛ wɔde medie mu a yɛsua deɛ o madaroma yɛsua deɛ ɛnyɛ obi ho asɛm ɛna yɛka obi a wajoin ne bia ne papa yi wanyini onya kwada na brabɔ mu asɛm ɛna ɔka ɔmmɔ obi adin ma mo nyina no ɛnsi bɔne ɔmmɔ sɔfo bi adin bɔne so ɔso no kɔ Baptist Church o Kumase no ya ba mu wa ɔkɔ brother mu akoma sɔre wɔ Kotoba bi ofuro no kɔ Jesus
Connection Prayer Ministry
connection no kɔ hɔ ɛna ofuro ba Kumase no kɔ asɔre bi abiem safe no adwene ya hɔ no akodi me pa cho sɛ mfie aduenum yɛnse ya wo yɛ hwehwɛmu no sɛ na wo si ho wiase we sɛ wate wiase ase foforo ana na yabra ba yetimu a yɛ boi no sɛ de wo hu Yesu na wo hu Nyankopɔn wo twa wani so in a flash no yabra ba yɛ bɔ no pepepe yɛ kwan so ane nam aheman bu bi wɔ hɔ ɛsoro bi wɔ hɔ
sɛ de wiase
egyamu wɔ hɔ
wiase de me ma no nsi aprotite
wiase asɛi
aprotite fi sɛ enipa hu wɔn wɔte ase honam so de ɔmo ani gye sɛ ɔmbɛyɛ ɔmbɛsiesie ɔmo honam dua ne yie paa ma honam dua na ɔkra ne de dwuma ɔmo di de ɛnyɛ owu kra ɔmfa obewu kra ɔbɔ egya kra no bewura mu a ne kra bewura mu wu a ɔmfa ho honam so ade a ɔmo pɛnti
sɛ meto wasɛm yie a wase yie a nipa pɛ honam ani nneɛma material things
no
dan ɔmo ankasa kra ɔmo so no nti sɛ ɔbɛtɔn ne kra no na ɔde anya wiase japade no awu ne kra ɔpɛ sese sa na wo hu wiase sese
sa na wiase ti
okay
ti akra de
apro okay ese di entre ma nkwa asɔre bi mu
di nti a me nkwa asɔre ani sɛ na me wo Jesus connection sɛ me ne group ni na yebom ne yebom paya na eja bi tutu hyehyɛ mi te sɛ eja yebom yebo eja mu gidie eja
ko port na tete no
na me nima de ko ti e ko so a ebi o atimi hye ya pa
ɛhye wana sɛ hye mu nyina
ɛhye nkasa me widie no
nko a
me da me sɛ me nim obi die me nko a me die na me kan ti ade no ko so a kotumi skopim sɛ me hunu papa no a me call ne nkyɛn no
sɔfo pani no
sɛ de ɔte wɔ honhom
ɛna wo hunu no
me hunu sɛ de ɔte
ti honhom
na me sɛ da bi ha me we na me gye papa di pa so ɛnte sa
ɛna ma wo gya asɔre
no ma me gya asɔre
na de na tutu hyehye no wo bɔ sɔfo pani amane sɛ yɛ bɔ mpa na bibi tutu ɛhyehye me
oh papa no de na me ne no di nkɔmɔ pa bɛ saa nsɛm a na ɛkɔ so wɔ mabrabɔ mu
wantimi anka
ma anka kyɛ fi sɛ me sɛ yɛpɔn asɔre a na me kɔ fie a every day bia me bɔ mpa yɛ throughout night
to wa mona mane da
ma me ne na anka ho asɛm
ade nti no wa mona mane saa de no
ɛno de mitimi nkyerɛ fi sɛ na akɔyɛ te sɛ ɛsɔre hɔ no a me wɔ no me obi a me yi kyerɛ bebree na me tu ba bi na ma gye me ho adi sɛ de me Onyankopɔn ne Kristo Yesu atimi mu ɛkyɛn obi a me hu no me hu sɛ a mitimi hu ade a
ɛfa ho
ɛkɔ so ɛfa ho
de bɛsi wɔkyena
de mitimi hu na bia menka misumisi ba no menka nkyerɛ wo da me mitimi no watena menka de ɛkɔ so nkyerɛ wo da so me hu sɛ wo yɛ hwan
na so wo ade no so no wo hu obi wa asɔre anana na obi ti Kotoba bi hɔ a wonya no ho yi kire bi a wanka eba mu eye wuo ana osayi ana adwuma sayi
omo no mame nchiro de ye memfa free ale hu ndi so de asam chi me ye obi a na me nim no ana ba sa na me hu ye de eye me ya mum se me ni nipa me ma me kura me ti busa na sem sa we o so wonim me ye obi a osoma me free osoro ba sa so a onyankopon na se da de me ba sa so se me medi dwuma ntia wo de me ba
me tiasio na me kosa no yi ano me kire se we no mu nyina na edi nkan no na utimi hu nipa bi ho asem
me ka bebre na me ka
no mo fa
sa no ma na ha nyeso mo fa me benya otan
so na bem
me hu se wudie ne u che de wuye anaju bia no me so la me hu se wudie wo ya me ka kire
nti o ka kire nipa no so ebem ebi yadwuma sayi ebi ya ne bi
ye de o de ne kra ye anaju
en no wasana na wo ka
na me hu pass straight forward
but wo de na nya bi ewuo ene yadwuma sayi ne
ewuo no ma me kire o ewuo no omo ankasa omo timi ani mi gina se woni me e gina do and die e shaase ma fo nkan nja
o say
e ho ho msima me kan
man kan no matime da se kwaku kenkan friends say yanto ade
Lifestyle Reform Health Center e wo Abrepo Pentecost School Junction mo V fast food ehwe ni mo pe na yema me wa odi ne djuma na e a otai ka che wo se enuanu ahodo ni nyina odi bi aba se e fibroid na e ha moje tu a modia fa number me de beto dwai na frɛ na yema me ntimi mbo asa kwan so fallopian tube ni mu asisi esi wa wo ho kwan wo de afrɛ sa number sa me de beto dwai afei oni padua no nuane ahodo a wo di efia ahodo a wo ni padua no mine wo nuru a ononum bi ebetima boa a detoxify the padua ni nyina efi ni nyina be piaba ama wonya wopomoden ti frɛ sa numbers we na lifestyle intimi emboa 0208 47 8686 0208 47 8686 your WhatsApp number is 0244 974 135 0244 974 135 na Eja Abraham ewo ohwim sa kwan so a Eja Abraham say onam yade na hawa ene wato odi bomodi abra nam yade betuma tena so wache ebema wachin kase nyina be o ya wadwene be o se bia o mattress na ye wosa na ye nam yade ulcer na hawa bomodi abra odi no diabetes a Mr. Bomodi ohwim ha ya na Eja Abraham wa odi ne djuma no fom kokuram nyina no ye papa timi boa itu ase ye number no 0549 101 580 0549 101 580 and 0242 764 835. Me found call Spiritual Herbals Spiritual Awareness Center. Spiritual Awareness Center ewo ye pankro no ya Kodua Junction na honhom asembia no wo de ba Maharaj ye papa ebetima bo na wo yisa o ha no so e de feel so say ya de e adwuma sem akwantu sem wo ye football apeso bobo konkan na wabrabo ne siw ye dia me kan for Spiritual Awareness Center dia ma free number we 0543 012 186 0543 012 186 baba is what me call a power specialist.
Me da se piabusu afo na me de wo call a power specialist herbal center. Ho ene haban enubna e di agro anya simkuma. Obi akompo wo so duru ha mam ye du ya away bus. Ye yiri nyina afiri ho de ama wo. Bomodian na fu ani kiro ye ben just bro gas station nchen fe yase Lake Road mam ye du ya ne papa du ya. Ho no mo wo. Any omo bedu ya eho ene omo wo bra me ensa wo yare awo na wo hia se wo ye bema se wo yo ba fibroid ne da wo yam away bus niam agugu hu na mani away bus waposo yo wo ya away bus hepatitis pa the whole Ghana on wajimu award okono wa hepatitis award awaji wo mu ne hwe no enya semkuma ba bia wo bia wachinchi wanante abre brebo mu kokuram for wani kire wo ya mu aduro ya yi ni nyina yeden afiri wo maam ya du ya power specialist Lake Road Bomodian Nebra Anaji Estate Takrade Enkran so Ashoman Estate udu ACP no afa benkum no afrosoro away bas wadu maam ya du ya Ghana fo nyina so mo da wase ensa yɛn hyia wo a enke be den se man hyia ma me je wutu pia wo number ni
number no 0244 544 422 0244 544 422 and 0200 383831 0200 383831 yama me say WhatsApp number when me fan kan ho 0555 797878 0555 797878 aba making kind messages
ko quick kan ka menko
Jeff
memfa we mra Pastor Mike Boston and Massachusetts. Okay. I want an American. Was in Saka gloves, would be in some fan type. Or grown in Sabebu. Kwaku, I want Abano. So what the young West Yaso. Now what the chia dear say, or more chia dear or hey. The Omokan say both fruit and buffalo from the nay. Bibi I chia dear watch. So what's young one free them, not the Bessia Bonti and the next 5 minutes. No, I want to buy a block. I want to do the same micromo. Me man match na maka. Move for Mukro, Pastor Mike. Bye bye. Go to Aso. Opunya izo.
Papa.
Insaka gloves won't be.
Odi agura assemble.
Uko kromba na ota de say nekutawo. Nekura na ewura dem a ate. Be sa ne kajetia no ayon say nekurawo. Wa hwe ate.
Wow.
Ate na totu awono.
Jeff James, as papa or Bo Abaso no wadwuma pa.
Me da say.
Yakopo nhirawo ene crew ni nyina.
O yusu di mi no. JJ.
Jeff James J.
Bay. Triple J. Me da say.
And Coleman McCarthy.
Okay.
Or say papa, thank you for your good work.
Me da say.
So Bo Abaso. Nana Edupako Isaac. We don't makai madam forgive you. And Amanda Dupako me chia pa Amanda Dupako. About say
Nana Pako so hina na me chia o. Ah. Ana yin na Pako no. Ana kwa ku me kasa na ide. We su die ni.
Ejeni. I say papa I am marveled. I say
no ho
adwiri no. Na why the step kakra. Also about biblical quotations na.
Mamini
Valerie.
Some books ni na ho but am phone ready.
I say papa Bo Abaso wadwuma papa.
Then I say
Dusty Xavi Thomas.
Gosh.
I say papa my good day.
So.
Na I say also one team in Casa de America no. On team in Gina yes. Now the message in for bro for you to never. Was saying na you swear they say they out I can. Or say Kingston say about I say a serious issue pal.
Very dicey.
Yes. Yame I don't know me na entias.
Oh.
And serial a wa pepra and so say or hell live. Patrick Echampon and so say or hell live papa.
Pat me da sipi na ye ne em say
518
no problem ye be kakra ye be saba chikra na ye be saba abusuafo Facebook live wa wotie nkomoda da na ne de ne ye nua pani edia ne nyina betimi do messages na den aba na mo abrochi na won si koso no titru mikro mo hwe mo yi awon no wan hwe ye komu kakra be na obenya pneumonia na no kra de ye say ye declare state of emergency pia bonte so mo nyina nye bi ne hia pa wo hye Edion, Mama Sambakwa Bridge.
On TikTok, Louis, it was as a Reverend Valerie, Christian, which is for no. Obey me in your more organa hana, and they just want to know.
Obey your Morgana. Nasa Ghana said, you will say very difficult to say. And I make an agan until you could be in Guanon Casamia before. You best to Abuakum. Ghana, which make us all before. Never. Enti means until you say me Busan or see America buying.
Yeah.
A organization as a society. San Crofoni na omubro me be CIA for. Near the was the last time I sent FBI for me didn't me obi okum obi near the and my man can in was what to them
remote review.
What to them we say in terms and run near Kwan Fasom Kokum or Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And easy, sir. Very good. Because number Obama interview and Ranajo.
Yeah.
Okobo golf no onim. Intipa no interview busa and say no nim say FBI for Pakistan na omoko kuma kwanana. And also no man who die in location no. I don't cry be military base. Enti emma utim say ono ono eden ote. What you say? And now no kobo golf. Into Obama no better than the TV home. It's not time heading at that so much time say an operation in bedding a best start into no heavy be alive independent business or bonnet man was not even into one
spiritual world
and the I have police for this soldier for money and sorry and sorry into Nippon was on last of Buzam said I make Grammy Yamidi. What guys are and Ujinamidi who to me now. Sana magine yemo ni nyina na ewuko
about team Eric so hell free Romania
hey I na there
nti also ochia Onyankopon hira pa na onu team ni nyina Onyankopon enyo
mo amwo won kronkro so no nyina no ene manka wo ho nyina nka mo de mo numbers abada ko ni afrem ni ene mo adi nkomo Ghana for pa kwantuo na yenhunu ba bia se ekọ ni ba bia ni kwanse eden ye kro mesrem a
abobi so wo multiple spirit
Oseme. Oh, the thing I
na AJ Finland.
Oh, na send the credit so I want you quadruple na ye.
And okay, intima I say wisdom man, I'm sure na ochia.
Ma me na kwashia. Very interesting character. 2019 na me na Asia e. Yakọ abaifo Asia mu no. Baby na Pentecost for so Asia mu wo. Omadwa pass abaifo ye. Abaifo mu ye conference Easter and a Christopher so ha. E Ghana ha nko komba bebo yen. Nso so onse baby anko so. Ohene maba so ne ani nkomo. Aha.
The entire me wa ha no say me boni nyina to fa se be ya behu se de besi abusa kasi.
How dey it you?
The woman ni say oman ya yetimu Ghana we. Omo kan sem bi say Ghana ni Israel na prekeso. So one year on
no yen kwasi akeka
wo de ma me nchire wo
yen kwasi akeka se Ghana ne Israel na prekese wo prekese ye den
de ntia o mo kasa no mo pa kire se Ghana ni onyanko Ghana ni Israel na ye o man a onyanko yi wa man nyina mu a soma na soma fo e ba e be di ne juma no sa na Ghana fo no se mo kan asi kire na me ye emu ba ko in kola bremu
ya asoma fo ni bi
in kola bremu no na o hu me me nim enti omo ye se omo betena me so na mi mission ti am ba asase so amaso my mission is to come and take every kingdom ever give from the beginning of this world from Adam to this day imagine free ni pansema oso ti no dem ba asase so nti wiase we ni omo nim nti omo pese omo tena me so akopum se saade no a me be ye no enya adwuma nti owo me no omo gye me fi Nyankopon sem se awen anasa yen se omo yen na omo wen me ekodu se me mission time be so mission time so ye no omo ye se anka omo be bremase na me no maka omo se na mantimi anye adwuma no se me gina kontekro se obako pe editi awiase ni nyina ti omo ye no ma nyina na omo ye se me ma ye wiase do ti don no a omo ye me no wiase nyina ba me so da bia me ba me no kasa no em se ma nkyire mu sa ma wo anti ase ntina ase ya nkasa ansi na me sorry wiase nyina ba me so ni me konfie du efiri nkra me kuma se omo ntimi me na me tu omo nyina honhom so omo ye ade no a honhom so no me nam se no omo kasa kire me se me ni odi nkomo yesu me hu obi anka no
ensema na wote
honhom so ni me kasa
ensema omo ka wote bi ni sen
jumadie bia omo die no omo kasa no omo se omo kasa wo na omo ka na ensem no omo ka no wa fa ni serious o because me fa ni nsem hu come ka me si we nsem hu na omo ka
sen na wote me de na yakoyesa wo de no me nam a de me ti wo me masu efi nkwala brem na me mpem kwase asem bua nipa de me de na me ka chero se me ti masu me mpem kwase asem bua nipa obi ho kire na bua no wo mienu a fa ba ko bi ma obi e ma onwonko ho nkire no e ma obi wu bra wo ahoden abetimi aboa no
na me nto awoso de esi ye ne se Kristo Yesu na kopon yi no ho adi kire me no o ka kire me se me mompa ye ngie akrai wasase so nyina ana ewiase no so ye se me se me baji akrai nyina afi Satan se mo Satan no wo Satan baby a wo se nipa hu ni biemu Satan se o 1000 years imprisonment obi a o se wo ho ntama me kasa me sere obi a o se wo ho bi o ye be before se o hu Satan me te ya on fe no nkasa na me children baby a Satan is an serpent no watch no I would not share fiase for 1,000 years to come.
He said what you manu gusu ya na say
My dear we are season kuni mewi.
This a card baby na so ye.
Dear tell say nkuni no a me di ye no omo yi ba kwasem say fi say me gina contract.
One na you ba ko.
Me ti wono enipa bi maako bi a asem omo ye me nanfo no mabusuafo no omo ho na because me ye full gospel mission no to me nko asore me dey say de bia me wo bia me bompa ye every day 24 hours me bia me ti bia me gina bia me bompa ye me sane de me tie free osoro de me tie free me honhom de me tie free nipa me ni nipa no ayeko na de wo mi say omo de obuka say omo no yakopon si akan say omo de me ko face Leviathan, the Leviathan in the sea. Na sa Leviathan ono na watena Ghana crude oil ai tun Ghana no sa ta no man panyi kufo ne wo na me wakra na me yakopon de me ne me ma me unu ko sea ekokum Leviathan me de kante won won ma so na ni nyina ye kokko na ba bia crude oil no ho ye deep bracket ho huankasa unye be ma ukọ a o ma honhum kura no o ma ho huankasa nti ship no call deep baby oil no and am catch the say baby a me kon de ho na ship no san ye e me be see Accra baby a from say cocoa affairs ho butan bi ho eno ne gateway to Africa no butan bi wa ya wo huni wo fa hu say ya na wo ko aponu mu down wo what say Accra what say Labadi beach ho no ufa butani ho a eno ni gateway to Africa no spiritually no heavy rock pa money se me kosu yase nyina no Ghana ha se na na head Ghana we na wo
ntino se ya no se de wasi adi o moso ye yuba ko ma wo no o man ya timu yi ehin fa ne yaduru ehin fa ne yekọ ye yobi wo ho ma o man we ani da so ho
se o man no die se me kasa di da so ni ho a na mbo so o man ni panimfo o mo ni amanonifo na botia me fi Ghana ha me se me wo ha mo amoni mbebo no se me ka kire wa ha baomia me kan ye beto aba no first one me frɛ baomia o Facebook no ba na ka kire papa o pese honam so o pese o ko aban akonya no so ne se udi nkunimu a ni ame ne o kase hwe masem mame and o say dear now na me say in someone they be every day me spiritual divine vision divine heal every day be and person me say no amete no me de call afidie so na obi TV daily ntio o ma me radio access and of share me say obi de John whatever me frɛ no enti me bo message ni wie sem person na me tie ne se baafo enfam ka ba yakufu ado ho asem kire ba omi ameka kire na apena obroko mi ma me chen bi ni yire Samira ba me chen we mu ya me ba me Rebecca ba me chen we gani ko ben bre my from live on Facebook no ma trotro ma ye live first visions no ma tro bebre go Facebook o mo nkai enu ti na se say no me ye no video say mema me nsem no a e wona e kom di no bani me adwuma na me ye no I said obi an share me o mi ala me jama baba to say
say wona wo ye o obi o ye adwuma o CMB no ko adwuma o ko jiska o jiga
say me
ntu kan sa me no nya adwene
me nko assault you me ni assault bia me ntimi
na me kan say wo wasema wo kan na me tia say
mama o man na nya patu say Cosmos company I know discover oil no fe say the other one if I say 10 oil field and you me ma omuni say hwe ohun say brownfo me kan we brownfo abumam ho kudo oil bi ho omo de afidi akọ say omo ko discover saa de no ana omo ni onyakompo ya me ko challenge saa honhom na wo ho no ka omo de say de na ma America no omo betwa moja ana say omo twa dwan saa dwan ni nyina ye nipa say ye ko twa dwan ansa na yatima ye ye be say nipa na omo di ko twa dwan nti o twa dwan no spiritually no nipa na omo pe no omo bekum obewu so acha say enti me ko oye no me ma ya nwu yaba ni yaba na omo fa oye no omo ma ye enti brown for de no me tie no me se me nko omo ntimi discover omo di video call wo de wo pa check wo net and so bisa Ghana for
say basa so na obo Ghana for trimodi
say Ghana for no pa mpani for no me
and make say o man no do
bisa ko le o frame me fa form and free
and make enya hwe say no man no do
me fa form
me say o man no do Yesu ba no na form
me ntimi hwia me ma no me ntimi hwia
Yesu no na form o ja na ma me na papa wo John the Baptist Peter wo simpia wo ja na mu yi
anya hwe kura nti de ma ya mo man no te o man we ntimi ma me baby na umtimi mami me am ka chiro the abrofo no here me chiro krata akoma Cosmos company no e wa kra
humu anani
funam so life my bro life me call baby I know such a no office or airport or koma broni ni say sa oil no am 2 years spiritual means no I provided because purpose in you because our friend we are century friend purpose in you or by Jesus connection we can say Ghana betime nya oil na nso so ahonwo ne sam was into the black Christopher na me bomb pile and ko de me ma call e ko see the kweye sa de na oil ne by purpose in you friend
na purpose say so no we no guna adwuma kura gu
na adwuma gu
do the credit
and bali for no omuni
phone kura oni bi
o man ni na ni
ti say no adana me ko tu bra for de bia na ma hwe
o ani omo pa omra ni ensan na me ba me percentage
say wasema wo kanyina hwan pa na wo direct wasem
na ko mampanyin no mampanyin ku falo say what mampanyin fo nyina ni o man mampanyin fo nyina o man hemfo ni o man ba ni nyina obi aso a me ye ne mobo no me ma me abrewa o ti fie dia mintimi hwa no me mas mintimi hwa no
eno dio onyo obi amobo tie nie
mas
onyo obi amobo onso mama no me no uji akinye wa ha wona asenya me asoma wo Yesu ba no ma jiska bi amfi obi aho
o tie o me
dabi
me na ne no but o mu no yakopon
me no onya
na me di nkunim
e wa he dia na kire se wona obi kodi akan e na odi nkunim e na wona akọ ho
se omo person omo koya essence omo person omo di me ne me ma koye sacrifice e ma sa a great demon no munya oil enti e ba omo si ne fa yakopon fa me no a me ye yakopon tini wa saso fa me nko
wana kasa
omo no
when umpani for ben when
asem we american no be se me body oyo hini o we mampanyi o we minister we omo nyina nim saso me kan
asema ka me no nya adwene ne da bia so ka ho me dia ne se mesua de ye fifi mu na asema wo kan de ase bibi butu adu achi
ana just on ti se me ka se me body ni a ebi ni se ohun se omo panyin no oba no o she bo se oba obey free education oba ye no ne yire no wo ye o nisi wo se atwedie na wafura committee se wonu Onyankopon wo ye bomofo tie Onyankopon Onyankopon kwa committee so ade Onyankopon honhom no so na nka che kufa si fom pa o pa frɛ no me ka che no honhom si fom ni hu so se ya no si fam
kufa do si fom
o si fam honhom
o ka che no honhom
kan ya pa na ni ministers be film se bo ko ye o ma me chimbi nto oni ma diesie me na diesie
kufa do
me na akon kasa me se me kasa
no o kufa do honhom ani
omo mpanyin bia no wo ye obomofo tia Onyankopon ti ministers ni na omo ya obomofo tia Onyankopon omo ya kraman
nti ni to
omo pass spiritual omo tipa obe use si a
nti si say no wo kan ni nyina afu a omo hefa na egina bani da so
ya nya dan omo no me so omo fa me so ko Onyankopon no mo nya wade se say de me ma kwan ekom de me so me ma kwan
Matthew de ekom de yetiase kwaku kenkan de ho ne me phone asiri tum
abayan ko phone lines
okay me ma kwan
mo abusuafo bia ho na tum dia ko fa ba no ena dwumade ne nyina ba bia peso wo di be fa bia no ya bia phone lines na tum ya ja ne nyina ama mo yesua de questions ne answers kwaku obi dia ba oso osre ya yehu madam love no onye visa ma no mra
me nya buchire
anya wo obi dia o kan no onye o de 0249130064 0249130064 hello
Ochi
yey ntanta bi anko
Ochi ma dwe
me da se
ma service ni kata fitafo
me da se
Ochi so adi weni so
sasa
so wadi weni so
sasa mo na woni abaifo tie na muku wo mo
wo
sɛ woka sɛ tia me a mɛba wo so wɔ ho
ɛnyɛ wasa na wɔka o ɔka na asɛm ei yei ayo
me bɔsi me wodi ansa bɛbrɛ Otwinoko wodi ansa bɛbrɛ no wodi ansa bɛbrɛ no mɛba wo so kwa wobɔhu wodɛ kamfo kyerɛ me wodɛ kamfo kyerɛ me wobɔhu sɛ womehuhum no a nwuhu da
sasa yɛde asɛmmɔ yɛ bɛba yɛde ne bɛba mate meda ase afei yɛde yɛ ma kwan kora o yɛkɔyɛ ne mu ko a 0249 130064 ahemfie adwumadie hello ahemfa atrase ha ahemfie mete fam afei nkɔmɛsa yɛ ho mafe dodo a this one recruit doctor you this one hello mo medase medase kofi ya wa
they know this. They know this. Every one of them know. They know this. Me say they know this. They know me. Hati man ka samjiro. Me say o man ya me we mo man pani. A police for her, soldier for her. O mo hwe so. O mo di asem no American. Ultimately, so on mu ha. He cannot answer because metima can't do a me hu ni nsema wa ye nyina metima kanina.
Una hu e na o kan ye bi de siati.
So dia agura me ba so.
Hey, that's what we here.
Comment now.
Asem na adwene obusa no.
The obusa no comment na o ma no. Asem na all kan. Wo kan in the form say the me kan ya tro.
Ebi awura asem ma America no no kra na America. Enye no ano no. Na we member so me hu na meku dia ni so. Eni awunye ready so be answer me ba.
Onye ready so
onye ready so be answer.
My ready pa.
Ne mo no ne tie.
Onye ni so me mo honhom.
Me say me nyini so honhom. Me say dabi me nyini so honhom. Me am tie me nyini. What can wasem obi busu asema na aboafu. Hey, sama Yesu honhom tie.
Me bu fu yo.
Yakoba honhom so na tie.
Me say ma ko do program mo dia ye me say anti me.
Obi afanye o, nya butre. Oh,
oba make na so wrong.
Dabi o de medase mo bi so mo busa medase pi o de question bi ya mumusa mumusa question
mubusa no mubusa me ya no.
Hello, good evening.
Majiso me do for pana wani
Prophet 1 bin Bram
mo hey
I am Muhammad Ashton
medase
okay my media
asembeba
easy. Eta ma me no dey any papa o ma yo hu bi ya so dey for ye boni.
Ba ye nya boni.
E dey ta ma so ha Africa be poni sha se ti abon ti se mu Philip Down so mu ya be for.
Sa pe.
No mu bra no mu bi ni bi mai ne so hu ta be for club ni ne se be grand ne so dey.
Abe for club.
We can have Africa kwa ne tu ye be for so hu ni pa.
That's it.
I'm a funny teacher, and I'm teaching some way a bit.
But that's it, yeah. But that's it. A better Abbey 4 fan club, Ghana Kumasi. K would be chairman, Abbey 4 chairman. Hello.
Hello, Chief.
Aja.
Johnny.
Abbey 4 secretary, Nabano, Kasai.
Hey, Chief.
Aja. So what you want is so?
And Yampa, Kirapa, I will over. And then after that, what's up? Nana, what he was comedy, Yamina, Yamia Freno, no mania, oh, Maya, and Yami, and Tim Manager, Roma, Elega Gianne, Papa to Libre Gianno.
Oh, maybe so as him, maybe so as him. Me per se, who can wait me, T. Se unim o man penny phobia. Busano se me yes had yellow Ghana Hana.
Among you watching you. Among you watching ye. And you watching ye. Among you watching ye. I was say. The why your moment and to my you bonia say.
The young woman, dear Ma Obino, or the Honoma dinner danasi. The Ghana 40 years, the Ghana for Honoma dear Namasia. Miss Minu or Mobile Honoma dear Swiss on my way. Yeah, a damn million. Now I can't Ghana Sika war ya Dama. Dama. The Ghana did Damatus. Damatus. I would train now. Papa. It's 1 hour. Yamna, almost want to get to the knee. Yes, Adia. Move here, me, Mamma, Maya. I discover oil. Remember my concern. I saw my worker. What can a moment years ago? Mato oil in it. As it says, can I go? It is a say, you won't touch a wood movie. And me, not. Share. We saw one as a man funny for him, said me, and I'm going to Kuntia Basa. Yo, money and penny for you. Yo, and I see, over from another day, say, whoa, Munkacha and Nakufado, Chama wood to me, way, Mumbra, Napa, I'm in friend. Hello, Fro Mucasacho life. Yeah, Joe, now, Annie. Kwaku, Fantino, Tio, Kwaku.
What you know, the opposite, I know you.
Ayo, Kwaku.
What you know,
Kwaku ni abro mama bunu kwasia awuchire ana make kai se ba ko obran afo o se onko ya hwe ne pa de ne e obema ye ho akire dollar no so obema na kosa Kwaku nya izo nti mumwa me na se ne e begege to de ama na ne ye ho nto yen dollar yi.
Okay, Busarman is now 2024, one of the week.
I know the also person baka abasemo. I want to say we want something to buy.
I don't say Baumia, only Baumia di Como.
Me ba I'm can say me mentu aba Emma party bi as MPP. If we say sab about one buy. Enti me do MPP pa Mami Teresa. Me pese me bonidi wo ye maami a odo me pa ntimi so me don ti honhum me mishira no ma Ghana we di ekofo abreso afu ja
hello kwa good afo from there I said ya here hey hello yeah
Good evening.
Ma je so ba cho mwani
Me party family can come in the cassette phone.
Yo, yeah, that's it. Come on.
And then case new
case who papa
the father the person me catch me on with you. Papa na so yare no yare with me slow one na mo san yare man.
Sure.
Case new
hey. Ha. Maso abati bi egu so yankasa radio so mo fa no nto so wankasa ye mpacho mo fa nje no hwe wankasa ye hello hello
papa
mami maji so na wani o
ajwani o
yeah ajwa tu
Oni ti mi sire jaja di ene ko mi sire
yeah ajwa me de mpesa o ajwa me mpesa o
wa ka ta so che yi ma wa ku gba do wa mi
ba jo ka se yele mi nyiwa no o sire ka se yele mi nyiwa no misro
ajwa ko ajwa de ya no da to suru adwane o hello
Hello, Papa. Good evening.
Yeah, Alima ni London. Mama ni sister. Osaka. Hey, sister. Yeah, who you?
You, Papa, I don't know to meet piano. You, me patrol, me the question, me one is say. Oh dear, I said now, dear, but it's really bizarre. No one about try to say.
You are about to take a mammy. You are about to pay. You can radio CB along with the dimatem. Some me.
I would say, radio, and yet, dear, some
Papa.
You yate Papa me say I be for him as on to attend and say mommy I won near many super.
Yes, I'm cool, Alima.
Papa me say I be for him ano. Watch it when near mommy you said ye and near me to go we are say. Nti ya dana say tembia say we pesa wo de ne beba ami atin sam sa.
Jo Alima. Me so me da sipi. Ne mo amoya be for wo Ghana mo hya sie na mo so mo form group. And ye be a fantru ta by Fuku, Asafa by Fukru. Sa hello.
Asafu. Hello.
Yes. Hey, Bacho, how maso, I buy for him and Abano. No obi uncle to Amato Muku. And no marry, let us say. Biaboko. That's
hey. I'm telling you, I don't the father in the man. If it doesn't agree on humanity, I'm my son, so we are better black or your baby for the armla. I am not there, one another. One more about we never paid nothing but a $50. I don't want to do 3,000.
no crack.
And yes, I'm good. I ain't going to know your jewel.
But I see, yes, mammy. I come and see BBC. The money asks my Johnny. Hello.
Hello.
Yay.
Was a bar near to my
no money.
Because of free magic.
Yo.
That's a bar near my lady, but a brother, even in
Mate. Yo. But I see me chairman for you now. Hey, George Motors, Michiao. Hello. Yes, sir, me that's it. Nanado.
Nanado shoemaker.
Mo
and the man Jipola says. Okay. The same bisa ni apa sang kakra.
Bajo bisa.
The bajo ni bisa ni se. Usi Facebook na one ye mampan ni na rapa. Na no chat. The bajo.
Na onya ma ko nyaso.
No ma ko nyaso.
Gabi.
Ah okay. Ise o ko Facebook so you afford for so.
O say.
You ko Facebook na. For the 400, you want to create account so they know the man paying BB.
I know minim. Now, no one can say, I hope we are not a country, so we know over number. No, Minina didn't come or that team you call Tema might be a fair or 7 John. Bibisa said, or Nona, or Betima Mania radio access, Sabrino and Ami Peno. Or can we, and I know Yankopoma Mitro, Mampanino. Ain't man no break here.
Never found anything there. The other piano, man, to the lady.
I mean, Tia will be all come to me.
And yet, it's the gallery of Condia.
Yeah, it is the castle, Viati, Mamma Minchiro. Ghana way, me person about baby, the mampen in four. Me bet 2 once, as soon as one more was a scene. Or Munam, me soon I'll bob bluff your own fee in me person casa.
And yet, okay, and I could have been the cousin put it.
And yes, you can put it as him. A man still away, any person pa.
Nanado, come up, Bimra. Hello. Yes. Nana Badunio, Mamponti, catch it. Oh, deep from Pacho. Yo, nana badu me jene so. Me che obi a o mamponten.
Hello.
Me ba cho mwani o.
O twi me ba so yima awa abuafa.
Yo, Emmanuel yetie o.
Bimbiranda bam. Mo kekre.
Jibe safwa.
O twi. And then some na asam. Me ba sam gusam papa ne se. Say I'm one of done about could be saying near one so better so my but saying
open you misro me pacho me $10 say me $10 and come cry me ma the woman say me my brother asum o man yin fisi aduana ya minim ana say fisi aduanu miensa no me ande manitua me nan ni mensa ni me bibia manitua me ne me mama mienu na yasum o man ya o man nya petru crude oil and premium say me kan wa hwe sankofa crude oil no ma me nche o kwan fa so bae tam ntra ho okay
ya ma fo from na on the national council nkra ne ko mu hello yes nkra
papa kus metal
ya force yenye
papa
ya force yenye papa what ya o ka say nkwa ya force wonye
enso me ye papa ya mi shirawo on tonkom na me de me papa no pesa me ka tren say ban ne mo na on chime ka no mo ame na me de me hwe na kofin do bi we
say wo bibi manu me de me number a me momo wo se beto opanyi anim na mo de abrɛ no kakra o ma me bia me to de ani adi
papa ade ba ko sa ba ifo no me sro be yi no bi se bi wadaro ma anya kwa o ka sie ba ko brɛ mi e bu bia me to.
Hey! Mati, kwakus matters with us. Also, Pebe ye can see a patch in Trench. Hello. Yes.
Home can see a bar.
The first I anticipate. I would trim you out there, papa. Oh, you didn't know who's one, I said. Assembly, anticipate you.
The catch up in you say, you train a couple each year. With me, identify crew like oil near Ma and telephone with a 100
me pacho ma me chechi
Emma into my game of
grass.
And this is what Yanka, your best son, Nashia.
I know the price of a sabbath. Yeah, Maniji Palama Church and some Mupano.
What do you so?
What do you do? So
oh, not down.
Where the patch of money,
man, patch of money, mean I'm a small man. My Saudi, Opa, Mamma got some joke. Hey, Kaji, someone.
Hello, you're going for first way. Hello. Yeah, you're here, Banawani. Yeah, a Yanka, 8 year old. Then I down. Hey, yes, Kuma.
Yes, I'm paying bomb.
The best way of Papa with you. Ghana to see Nika your quantity.
And then I was one share me money, mammy, never been talking any. Then you've been sharing. More, and I was money, ma. Hey! Me, my infamy soon, ya didn't feel your coupon order. Maybe Buddha. And I someone see me yet. And yet, Ghana, who yes in Odro. Some is so power by my ambro. Numbers may join the Palm and Aqua Party, and there was my mantam natua. Me doing me. Me say, Major Manako. Me crying with my mantam natua. Mate, share me. Who can be so police and also that? Who can be Mr. Ghana for such a phone police one? Yanko for Frosso, hello. Hello, good evening, all. My dear son, Pacho Winnie. But Aziz, I am a Casafra Babu. You, Aziz, me da see it you. Me Pacho Papa, you may show you my power. We are not sent my Ghana. And me. What? Okay.
Mercy FM.
So no.
Oh, yeah, but me pay no umboa. On pa me pay the number. Na me no kasa. Yo. Me no. We are. For the number we man. Na me no kasa. Mbe friend ama. baby a year 2 year ma me no ntam wa me sra
Me ba cho mate papa. Me da so.
ina kumpo nhyira o me sane wo firi o ha obiara etete
Afa namba no. Ah, ya fa de twa to ne ekọ. E na biga ma awurade nya me abiga bi so wa ma. Hello. Kwaku.
Oja ayi no. Ayi Boko Haram ni no. What you do for?
Hello.
Hello, Chi.
Ohene ba na hwani o.
Kwaku Clinton asante be kwa na me kasa free.
Yo, ohene ba me da ase. Yetie o.
Uchi na mi shira o yetie program na che but ya na yenya opportunity ni nwuram.
Kafra.
Yetie fu okura doso sene omo mutimi ba line so. Kakra me kan say opani no wo kasa pa but me pese mi nya dance also ya wo se woni ne mama nti e be se nko achi no benya opportunity kura nko ne baba bi nso mra no nso me confirm ni ewu sa asem na o kan ya no kura nsa na ebetimi agine dia ya agine dia e na oba na ye an interview no so o kasa I remember say oba bi say ye woni na kasa pe ache ma ya yetie program no pa nti radio shira o ma yesua dia bebre.
But that's CP Clinton yamin shrapa. Ye ntimi mfa anobi rem. Oh go rem. Yay.
Hey, over me.
Hey, Abigail yo. Atu. Abigail na aba no. Some kan. Kwaku. Some kan Abigail baba. Hey. Because Kwaku jame mo du Abigail baba. Some kan kire wo. Abigail tie o. Yay.
But I'm going to say, you could say, oh, could scar be and go to the atana.
Oh, be ye de bebre wa happy bebre. Open size man.
Maybe you had a boy who buy.
I can see na ketwa when this one is so.
And it is so I'm never back at one.
Open ketwa and the milk ayi tea tomato ketwa no. Chance me ditwa.
I said I'm going to go home by.
Mate, na do bo home by sana e den.
Okay.
What the bo home by sana e den.
And so when you be one my obedience me. And to me, you're drunk. I was a
and I said, me to Sibana Gata, ever to wa, and you can't get down, Jay, what that? And I bet Wabi.
Now I am on it.
Mate, I know, yet to me from your ah. Come on, big about the second program. Then I'm again just.
Who's that a question?
Hey,
it's got some no come on. No crabby womb. No crabby womb. Now, maybe. What does it say? I say, Gani, need dama. Aha. And now CTFM4. And I'm able to just say, if we Sabian copy match, say, I am a phone, I'm a Billy Ghana out. You see, I see me now, be crashing. It's you upon us no canoe. But the man attention kakra.
Oh, Obianka.
Yes.
But we're raising so many points.
Yes.
But say near TF4 in the Behunu Krumu. Also on the mama me
good.
And to mama no, you be here one, but I bet you don't mama.
We pacho mama no. Since I'm a dom koma or mama no. Misika mi ninti mama no on fan kola no mama. Mi mama no penino or Facebook.
Oh, you're saying
27 years.
And I can trust what's saying.
It was 25 years.
I saw my own. Oh,
Mintimi of Otwinoko, me didn't call no more than 5 years. Mintimi to Panti Krama Korabakunda.
Go 5 years and I know McCoy, ain't I know McCoy.
Me don't come on, mamma.
Me just say,
me don't come on, mamma. Sabra me don't call me because for extra concern, no more try. Never know my meeting come, I'm Jawa.
And I make kind say, Nina Fan Twinching. Also, no more than years, son, my working. And you be here, Omocroma.
Nkorano media omo wagan omo kuma se ya
enti akofa wo mo ina betra
enti pajo ka o se me ne nkorano kasa bet maame no se obeka me huni makoho dia
bro no beso
omo ti high tension ya streso
da ban ne wo be ready ya ye do na
ya wo frɛ me ameba
mate number no enti enu ina abekɔ akɔfa no mo ina betra na de omo so nim efa saa asem yi no ya sha ase afi wo wo hwe mo sen.
Oh, me mean Sankoran because oh, Ebiana, my almost ferry.
Almost ferry. You back at Tomani. You back at Tomani with TV.
You do, I call a call and you
oh, my numbers.
We were penny number, kit one minute number.
I'll be a pure bontia. So many mamma back.
Mamma back.
Oh, my whatever, and also my
Baku out Baku
Baku,
and a Baku a while enough, and while nobody buying my pencil.
You mean now, worry.
Maybe I mean you to the penny while and Kalanso because you obi am leme
na wo muso afa pieto kra nkoma wo mo na ye mo ho ade a wo ko bibi age
me
wo de wo sie kra se ama
anya ade no me tie enkola no
wo de fa no to nchen na bi eno de e personal dabi
okay
e enkola no tie ni omo ho nkomo na mom kwan afa so ne omo honhom abo agana no ene ade ehia yen nti bedi nkomo wa akire na brepam ye nyina akọ ne yakofa wo mo wo mu ne ewunie ne ye ni nkomo ne ye huru mu ayi na betimi de abo agana enya se no nyina ni
this is ya mu de kom de menti omo mremsika
enkola ne mremsika
dabi galafo
na me kan say yate enti enkola no baba me atra se aka
na ya me ba me papa wo Otwinoko
o ba se ensu to eso o ba sa fa fam na asa akọ bra ensu ayi to kwaku
abiba kekere bo ati ayi te
mo yese agi abiba da kunu mienu na ya pe abobo ya na asa akọ de sen bra na wo damu no ofa kwaku yako
amanya wi anu ochina
awso afu da mu ina ase ya do bibia ase na ya papa be sare na hia ye ko
every day ba Otwinoko de bia be frem me ba
mate de be di nkomo yie abusu afu do bibia ase obi ahwe no nso yie o asem bi o amane bi o haw bi o person ni mi di nkomo personal o fi a woton ka asase commercial say ya more advert George's Motors o mazi ye chia pa da sepa asoso na number no eye 0249 130064 0249 130064 0249 130064 me number no when ye di adwuma ye di bibia open advert open so by advert number chrono aso o wa semi person de bra radio so be kire wadwen bibia the same number 0249 130064 mo am send message say ba sa ba fo hie mo no pese mo ko be me nkwaje visa mamo no me pa mo chow mo fa sem be me nkon mo fa sika me daada me nye visa me srem a nti eno ano no me ye ba fo nti metu na makọ number no 0249 130064 ya kra mo no si aka se bo chena no miensa ye wa